Yo. It's Tuesday night. It's 8:30. You know what that means. It's brand new Hockey Happy Hour coming at you live. We're going to recap the Flyers, Avs, and maybe probably go back a couple games and discuss some things there. We're going to discuss a couple other things going on around the league. Got a lot to talk about. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. Follow HUD Radio everywhere. It's time to talk. Let's go.
Oh my God! I'm embarrassed! You're flying!
Welcome in. It's almost time.
Ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live on A2DRadio.com, and once again, brought to you by the doc, Dr. Paul Vidal, over at Specialized Physical Therapy. If you got any aches and pains, just go on SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com, make an appointment, and head either to Burlington or Cherry Hill, New Jersey. The doc and his team, they will take care of you. They're pros there. If you got any aches and pains, you won't have them after you had a few sessions with them. And tonight, I am Matt Sassuti along with the Darkwing Brian Daly.
What's up, everybody?
The Broken One, Rob Povia.
Cheers, gentlemen. Good to see you.
Yes, as always. And Mr. Broadway, Mr. Blue Shirt, Mr. Brad Ryer. What's going on? All right. We welcome we welcome everybody to another edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. Like we said, brought by Specialized Physical Therapy. And we also, of course, are brought to you by plenty of other great sponsors. Like, let me just pull them up right here, of course. I had it 5 seconds ago, and it ran away from me. That's what I do. There we are. BOAGGIO'S Bread, located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, home of the best stuffed bread, tomato pie, sandwiches, cutlets, and meatballs. You mention A2D, and you get 10% off of your in-store purchase. So definitely check them out. Get yourself some nice food. Get yourself some nice bread. And, if you got any big dinners coming up, obviously Christmas is right around the corner, so maybe Christmas Eve you're planning to, I guess you would say, prep for this whole thing. You know, it might be a good idea to give them a call. All right, and they bring to you our poll question for tonight, and the poll question is, the Avalanche are the next NHL dynasty. The reason for this poll question is because Flyers did just face them and beat them, actually, on home ice, which is somewhat memorable during this season, as unfortunately the Flyers in the month of November, boy, did they come crashing down to earth with a nasty thud. It's been a rough few weeks for the Flyers, to say the least, between errors made on the ice, between sloppy play, coaches kind of getting very frustrated with their players, one being compared to a toilet seat, the other one being pretty much in the doghouse and not getting out anytime soon. It's been a rough go of it for the Flyers for these last few weeks. However, good vibes from last night, hopefully continuing as they get ready to move on in their season to hopefully rebound as we get a little bit closer to the All-Star break into Christmas weekend and what have you. And of course, tomorrow night the Flyers take on old rivals, the Washington Capitals in Philly. So we'll see how they do after coming off with a big win here. So, gentlemen, with that being said, do you feel as though that the Avalanche are the next NHL dynasty, though? Even though the Flyers got that win, putting that off to the side there. Usually, they're a pretty solid team. They've had a bit of a rough go of it this year, though. Do you still see them, though, as the next NHL dynasty? Stanley Cup hangover? Yeah, I could see that. So, agree or disagree, gents? Avs next dynasty.
Go first, Robbie.
I was interested in Brad's argument there in terms of, that Stanley Cup hangover. It's true. They have a cup finally, but can they repeat? I'm going to disagree with this poll. I think the Tampa Bay Lightning are the next NHL dynasty. They haven't really quite cemented that distinction quite yet, but can easily do so this year. I mean, if you're watching the game tonight, we saw the best goalie in the universe with Vasilevsky standing on his head, absolutely robbing, making a beautiful save. And it just shows that this team's going to be in contention again. So I don't know. I don't think the Avs have done enough. I mean, they've been at the top of the standings, but always fell short. They finally came through last season. Can you maintain?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Robbie on this one. I mean, I don't think they are. I think they're a very good team. I don't think they're a dynasty team. I don't think they're built that well. They have really good pieces in places for a long time. I think they're going to be a team that competes for a long time. I don't know. With the way things are going this year, I don't see it happening. Tampa Bay is definitely more of a dynasty than Colorado, I think, could be. I think the one thing that's really solidifies Tampa Bay for me as a dynasty over Colorado, it's the fact that, goaltending is huge, especially in this league. Colorado doesn't really have that. They've been jumping from goaltender to goaltender the last few years. Tampa Bay solidified Vasilevsky as their franchise guy, and he's played like a franchise guy, and he's been the guy for the last few years. So to me, that's a huge X factor into what makes it a team of dynasty. And to me, Colorado just doesn't have that. And until they do, I don't know if they'll ever get to that dynasty level, but they'll be a team that will compete, and they'll be a good team, just not a dynasty.
That's interesting, man. I like seeing some of these comments floating in and hearing your opinion, Brian. I thought I was going to be on an island here, but I mean, Brad, we did get some crummy news from one of their top players tonight.
Yes, Nathan McKinnon's out for a month. And I just want to thank you guys for hurting him, because we're going to be traveling to Colorado. So, we don't have to face Nathan McKinnon. And it sounds like we're not going to have to face Jack Eichel in Vegas tomorrow night. So, that.
Hey,
Brad,
anything?
You guys are our buddies. So, thanks for handling McKinnon for us. We'll still lose anyway, but at least it won't be as bad as it could have been.
Anything for you, Brad? Anything for you?
Yeah, Avalanche, I don't buy them being a dynasty. I mean, maybe they'll win another one, but like as far as just running the league and being like that, being dominant, no, because they don't have the goaltending to do that. And every great dynasty is cemented down by a dynamite goaltender, and that is Vasilevsky, as you guys so aptly put it, and it's true. And when push comes to shove, you still got to beat that guy in net. As good as Florida was last year, what happens against Tampa Bay? They couldn't beat they in Game 4 when they lost that final game of that series, they got shut out. They had 48 shots on goal, and they couldn't beat Vasilevsky. And that's the kind of team Tampa Bay can be when they're on all cylinders. Listen, last year, Colorado finally won the cup. They had so much offense, nobody could stop them. But they weren't real strong in goal last year. I'm sorry, I'm not buying Georgiev as being a Stanley Cup goaltender. I'm just not. I've seen too many games that he's played in to believe that he can win 4 rounds of playoffs against real good teams. I don't see it happening. I don't care who they have out there. It's not going to happen. You can't keep giving up like 3, 4, 5 goals every game and expect to win the Stanley Cup, multiple Stanley Cups. They won 1, okay, and because they were able to outscore everybody. But usually most Stanley Cup champions usually can have a situation where when they get the lead, they can shut the other team down and basically hold them to nothing. And Colorado has never been able to do that. That's why it took them so long to win the first Stanley Cup, to win this one last year, because they just give up too many goals. They're a great offensive team. no doubt. Matter of fact, I may go on the edge and say the Devils might win a Stanley Cup before Colorado wins another one.
Don't put that on. Don't put that into the universe, Brad. Just don't.
I know, but
Last thing that me, you, and everybody in the NHL needs.
Yeah, I know, but we've been watching this team play tonight. I know that, and they are good. They're really good, and if their goaltender is going to continue to play the way he's been playing over the last few weeks, they're going to be just really hard to beat. By the way, Boston finally lost at Boston Garden, at Fleet.
Yeah.
Excuse me, the Fleet Center, or whatever the hell it's called these days. They finally lost the other night to
the TD
to
Bank.
Vegas and
Yeah.
is it TD Bank now?
Yeah.
Some bank, whatever. Yeah, they finally lost at home though.
Speaking of not losing, Mitch Marner is not losing his streak. Mitch Marner has already extended his point streak. He's up to 20 games now. He made history tonight.
See, that's another team that could end up at some point if they could ever figure it out and get out of the first round.
That's
been their Achilles heels.
Right. I will say this though, the Bulls, they may possibly have their frustration. They may be a frustrating team to deal with this season, but you know what? I'll say this too. The Flyers were really good 2 years ago, and they got beat in the second round. So I'm not going to put too much stock into it right now until they actually manage to make a run happen. Be like, all right, you guys had a good season. But it all went to shit real fast, didn't it? Once a team beat your ass in the playoffs, didn't it? Because ours went to shit real quick, too. Yeah.
I hope so, because they're going to be awfully difficult. They're going to be awful. Their fans are going to be awfully difficult to deal with if they win another cup before the Rangers or the Flyers or the Islanders or anybody else. They're going to be impossible to deal with.
Be what? That would be 4 cups since the Rangers last and since the Flyers last. That would be 4 cups.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Then, going all the way back to '95.
Yeah, and the Islanders. Yeah, you could throw them in too.
Okay, so let's look at some of these comments here. Obviously, Prism throwing out "Let's go, boys." What's up, Priz? Roska saying, "Let's go, Ducks." It's all about the Ducks. And he also wants Joe Thornton on the Ducks.
And he does. He was back in 1997.
Has anybody called?
He did go on to say that.
For him?
No.
Good question. I'm not 100% sure.
Has to get the Geritol.
I don't think Joe's coming back, though. That's the thing. Joe's done. He had an opportunity to go back to San Jose, and they didn't even want him.
I mean, honestly, at this point, even if he did go back to San Jose, I don't think it would have done anything. The Sharks are going to have a bad season all the same at the end of the day. Roska is saying also Tampa Bay Lightning will win this Stanley Cup championship, and then he went on to say that the Lightning will not win this year. Yeah, I can see why Rob commented that he was confused a little bit later on that one. That's a little bit of a strange one there, Roska. I want to clear that one up.
I just want to know who's going to win so I can lay down some money. That's all I'm trying to do.
Always got to make that money. Always.
I listen to the fam. We exchange ideas.
Let's see. Priz, in his response to the poll question, he's saying no. Dallas, Kings, and Calgary and the Wild are going to be good, really good for the next few years. I mean, obviously, you just look at those teams. Dallas, of course, they've got a lot of really solid players, a lot of great players, and it seems like Ottinger's the real deal. So you got good goaltending there. The Kings, we already know that they're building themselves up, and they managed to make the playoffs last year playing with house money, and they gave Edmonton a bit of a frustration. So, again, they're on the rise. Calgary's, they've been interesting. They fluctuate from time to time. They're good one year, they're bad the next. I mean, when I say bad, I mean they still make the playoffs, but they're not necessarily competitive in that playoff. The Wild, they're a team that's on the rise too. So it's a good point though. Got some real tough teams out there in the West that look like they might shape how things plan out for the Stanley Cup Finals in terms of the Western side of things for years to come.
Yeah,
So,
from what I understand, Calgary is actually making a change of goaltender. Markstrom's been a little inconsistent this year, which has kind of been a major part of their struggles and not being able to have placement for some of their young guys that are playing really, really well down in the AHL for them. Calgary's been a little weird this year. They just got to make some moves, clear some space, and let Vladar do his thing in net.
Right. And the person does say, though, I don't have Tampa winning anytime soon, at least not this year. Interesting. And Jake saying, what up, boys? I'm going to disagree with the poll. So he does not believe Colorado's the next dynasty. What's up, Ted? Saying, glad the Flyers won for that kid yesterday. Yeah, Hart had an amazing game yesterday. And yeah, they earned that one. They almost gave it back. Almost gave it back there towards the end. The clock beat Colorado more so than the Flyers did at the end of that third period.
Yeah, but give them credit. I mean, they won the game. They had a 3-1 lead going into the third period.
Oh, that's
Rob,
cool. I didn't
Rob,
realize
your mic's muted.
Sorry. I was muted. Sorry about that, boys. Yeah, no, I was just saying that Risto was a problem in that game. I mean, you got to expect some pushback from Colorado in that scenario, especially with the goaltender pulled, but he just looked lost. He got beat on that basically virtually 1-on-3. Nobody wanted to take the man and allowed the guy to score. Risto's making me look dumb, actually wanting and advocating for him over the years because he just looks lost. I think he needs to sit down.
Yeah. And Torts has already made his feelings very well known about Risto and how he is not thrilled with his play over these last month.
I told you guys, I never liked him. I thought he was a big stiff in Buffalo. I've been down on him ever since they got him because he never raised Buffalo's level of play. He's a big body, and
he hasn't lifted the Flyers either.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big body. You'd think that he'd get in the way a little more. Sometimes he just looks like a parking cone out there.
Yeah, and it's very fitting since you're wearing the color of a parking cone, so it makes total sense.
Oh, geez.
But
I didn't mean it that way.
But no, seriously, you're wearing orange, so you might as well be one. Right there, you go. Your life goal has been achieved. You're a parking cone on the middle of the ice. All right. So let's see here. Prism saying Boston and New Jersey before Tampa this year. So he's throwing the Bruins and the Devils. God, boy, that should be a blight on that'd be a boils on the ass of fucking hockey right there between Boston and New Jersey winning freaking cups. Good God.
I believe in Boston a little more than I believe in New Jersey, but we'll see.
Either way, I would be like, great. Two fucking organizations that
great.
Don't deserve a fucking cup.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
All right, so let's see. Ted throwing out, Blackhawks are tanking. Is it really impressive what the Devils are doing tonight? Because Chicago blew out the Rangers the other day.
You had to bring that up, didn't you, Ted?
I think he had to. It was just a friendly little jest. He had to do it.
We know. If you want to know the truth, though, the game on Friday night against Ottawa was worse. And how about blowing a 2-goal lead in the third period against Ottawa and losing in regulation time and not even getting the damn tie, not even getting the Bettman point?
Oh, yeah,
I told you,
that would be
something's wrong.
that's painful.
Something's wrong with the Garden, guys. Something is very wrong with that team.
Oh, let's see.
Igor
Here.
suddenly
Saying,
became
if
an
I had
open
to
window.
guess, I mean, maybe for shutting out all those teams, and maybe he's being charitable, just throwing it out, maybe. Tom saying, "My guys, what's and." Stars versus Devils Bruins. Bruins win whoever they play. Stars or Kings beat the Devils. What interesting.
He's laid it out. Oh, I gotta take
now,
notes.
do you know the funny part is?
Then go hit up my bookie.
Yeah. Get them parlays and them side bets ready to go. But funny enough though, that Kings and Stars Western Conference Finals. I could totally see that happening. The Kings going on a shocking run and getting all the way to the Western Conference Finals. The Stars showing that, okay, they're a legitimate team back to the Western Conference that they haven't been in since 2020 when they got there and went to the Stanley Cup Finals. So for them, it'd be two different sides of the story. One team that's been trying to get back to the Western Conference Finals and another team that's been trying to show that what they're doing in terms of rebuilding is working. And that would be crazy to see that final. That would be a fun one to watch. For Devils Bruins, I probably would watch maybe 5 minutes, and that would just be really want to watch those games. Because, I don't care who wins those games. Whoever wins, I could give two shits. I hope that they all just freaking crash. And let's see here.
I agree with you about
what's
that.
Up, Pete? Saying, I don't. What would the play? Yeah. And Pete saying, I don't know how to answer the poll. I just know the Flyers aren't going to be the answer for some while. Yeah, unfortunately, we've still got a lot of work to do. We really do.
A lot of work to do.
John saying, yeah. John saying, I have not watched much Flyers hockey. Hasn't spent $1 on. I don't know how excited I was until we get new ownership. Fuck Alice, he is a pussy.
Love you, Johnny.
Oh, good old
Raw.
Ryan Ellis. You know what? Boy, I tell you, man, you just gotta love it when your team just throws money into a pit. Between real Fletcher loves throwing money away, doesn't he? Just loves wasting the money. Let's see.
Yeah, you can never predict an injury though, so you never really
Roscoe
know.
said
Any injury could be a career-ending injury, so you got to be careful. Because look at Jake Voracek; his career is probably done.
That's a shame too.
Yeah.
So you never know. You never really know. You can call a guy a pussy all you want, but you never know what you're getting. It doesn't matter if you're getting a top-tier player or a bottom-tier player. It does not matter. You cannot predict injuries, and you never know when any injury is going to be your last.
Listen, look at what happened with Chris Letang.
But he's skating already.
Yeah, I heard that's good news. I'm glad to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to see.
Well,
I don't like Chris Letang, but I don't want to see any. I don't want to see the poor guy, have to quit because of that.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I'm getting at.
I'd rather see him get his ass kicked by somebody after he slashes somebody, and get out of the league that way, not by a stroke.
Yeah. No, I don't even want to see a guy because apparently what's going on with Ryan Kessler, he had to retire early because of a hip injury. It's the same thing that's going on with Ryan Ellis. It's a hip issue. Like, you can't play. If your hip's not good, you can't play because you need your hips.
Yeah, that's the one issue nobody seems to be able to recover from.
Mm-hmm.
A man can't stand, he can't skate. Oh, wait a minute. Wrong movie. Go ahead.
It's pretty much accurate, though.
Well, maybe you can dodge the ball. No, I'm sorry, that's wrong too.
So good movie though.
St. Louis just scored again, folks. It is now 3-1. St. Louis over the Islanders.
Nice. Right now, St.
Particularly-
Louis is your favorite team.
Tonight they are. Well, my favorite team is whoever plays the Islanders. If the Rangers aren't playing, it's whoever plays the Islanders. So that's kind of how it goes there. Wow, I'll tell you what, Ryan O'Reilly just scored a goal where he got taken down, and while he was falling down, he reached out and knocked the puck in. That's some goal.
Beautiful.
Yeah, he you know what, he really is he's a good example of a captain for you.
Absolutely. I completely
If
agree
you
with that.
if you guys see the highlights of this game, that goal was just pure guts. I mean, when you're falling down, in the process of falling down, you're able to reach out and whack the puck in the net. That's just great. Love seeing that kind of stuff. I wish my boys would start.
Ironically, I
scoring
think
goals like that.
Ironically, I think that was the kind of goal they scored on. I don't think it was O'Reilly, but it might have been Patrick Maroon when they went on their run to the Cup Finals, and I think it was double overtime. Puck bounced Ben Bishop at the back of the helmet, came right down in the blue paint. One of the Blues just reached over and just slid the puck into the back of the net. So, like, boy, you talking about the shittiest bounce in the world, right there.
That was very. That goal is very That goal is very similar to the goal. I know what goal you're talking about.
Wow.
They're very similar. It just, you talk about a hungry team. I mean, the Blues last night just got smoked by the Rangers. Okay, and they've come into the island tonight, and they're loaded for bear. They're playing some good hockey. So, and of course, anytime the Islanders lose,
They
it's a
needed
good thing.
to.
But when
They
you're
were on
trying
a
to
skid.
when you're trying to make the playoffs, they've got to start losing some games, because we sure as hell haven't been winning any games, and neither of you guys.
Right.
So we need something we need something positive to happen here.
I mean, except last night.
Well, yeah, of course you beat the Stanley Cup champion. You don't beat anybody for like a month, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere you beat the Stanley Cup champions. Yep.
It's all about how it matches up, Brad. It's all about how it matches up.
That's why we love hockey, because you know what? In hockey, if the goalie plays great, anything can happen.
Right.
And
I did learn something from watching last night's game, though, Brad, that other teams can epitomize. They're not really good at covering that shot from the point, that a type of defenseman that can be aggressive and really pinch in. We saw Travis Sanheim do that on his goal. We even saw Tony D coming in for his power play goal. That's a lot of teams could attack Colorado. Did Georgiev have issues with stopping the shot out wide from defensemen with the Rangers?
He had a lot of issues with a lot of shots. he just, when he played well, okay, but he had a lot of games where he was just not consistent. I mean, he gives up too many garbage goals, and that's a problem.
Right.
That sucks the life right out of a team.
Regardless, though, that was two good things to see, like Tony D getting his game back on track to what we saw earlier in the season, and Sanheim impressed me last night. I mean, more than just that goal, his overall play. That's why they won that game last night, and it shows that there's that glimmer of hope for guys like Johnny C, who's not, done with the Flyers for right now, that at least there's pieces of the puzzle that are just going to continue to simmer and mature and hopefully get back to, we knew that they weren't going to continue that run that we saw, heading into the season. I said that as soon as the calendar turns the busy month of November, you're going to see it go, skydive and shit like that.
You absolutely said that.
Yeah.
And but I'll tell you what, though, just the fact that you could beat the Stanley Cup champions, that should be they should get a lot of confidence out of a win like that.
Wow.
Because that's a really good win. You've beaten them, you've beaten the Colorado Avalanche, you've beaten the Tampa Bay Lightning. You've had some big wins this year. And hopefully they can take away from that the fact that they can, when they're on their game, they can play with anybody. And if Carter Hart, just can get back into the zone like he was a couple of years ago, who knows? Maybe it won't be an exacta, the 7-8 exacta of the Rangers 7 and the Flyers 8. Maybe that exacta won't happen. It's always possible.
Look at this for all the baseball fans. It's Mitch Haniger going to the San Francisco Giants, not Arson Judge.
Oh, that's too bad. You know what? I think that tells you that maybe San Francisco isn't so confident that they're going to get Judge, because I know John Heyman went and tweeted it that that he's going to San Francisco, and I know I had a miserable 2 hours when I saw that tweet. Then when I got home, I read it and he took it back, and I was like, you know what, you are a chump. You can't. You know what? He just said that because he was hoping. He made a calculated decision to say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to say this, and if it happens in the next 2 hours, I'm going to look like a genius. And then he proved that he's a fraud.
Oh, Berto, tell me that's not
It's
true.
always fun to see.
Berto, tell me that's not true.
It is.
Taiwan Walker.
It's a
Berto
Mets
saying,
reunion
yeah.
over there in South Philly.
Seriously.
They love collecting ex-Yankees and ex-Mets. Have you noticed that, Rob?
Yeah, I do.
They really do.
I mean, he can be effective when he keeps the ball down, but I mean, his issue, he just doesn't miss enough bats, and that's in a smaller ballpark in Philadelphia. I don't know. I mean, but he was one of the better options now with a lot of the arms starting to go. I'm more interested in that Japanese pitcher. That's what I'm hoping my Metropolitans go for next, because the combination of him and Verlander will be greater than DeGrom.
Yeah, I mean,
and Scherzer. Hey, listen, you got Verlander. You talk about a team that went from, and a fan base that went from the shithouse to the penthouse in one night, or rather in 2 nights. You lose DeGrom one night, and then the next day, no problem, we'll just get Verlander.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, if the Yankees don't sign Judge, what's their plan? What's plan B?
Nimmo.
Oh, well, we could sign Turner. Oh, wait, no, he's
he's in Philly already. And my thing is, I'm not upset. Really, overall upset. I'm not really upset with the signing of Taiwan Walker, because he could be a really solid 5 guy, and that's really all the Phillies really need is a 5th guy in the rotation.
Just replace Kyle Gibson.
Pretty much.
He's better than Kyle Gibson.
Yeah.
I'm better than Kyle Gibson.
Yeah, he's better than Kyle Gibson. He's not bad.
No, it's not terrible, but I feel like if that contract is true, where it's 4 years, $71 million, that's quite an overpay for a number 5 guy. There's no way. I don't know if I believe that.
That's what Ted's saying here.
That's something Uncle Stevie would do.
Right. From the A2D talk.
Oof.
Oh no, no deets.
4 years, $1 million. Taiwan.
By the way, Benny's is here. Boys, what's up, Benny?
Hey, Benny.
Yo.
By the way, that little logo that you see on the side of Benny's name, that is to indicate that he is an A2, which you can become a month. Perks include appearances on shows, so if Benny's wanted to come on with us, he can. John as well had one next to his name, so he could hop. Also, shout out to Podcast in Willie Vegas, and that's where the real big advantage of the membership comes in, because the Sports Pick and Money Pop Podcast, Willie Vegas too, man, they know what they're talking about. So there, if you take a little bit of their advice and throw a little money around, and you get paid to be an A2D member then. So definitely check that out. All right then. So let's see here. And Walker had no QO, which made him more appealing to us. Oh, okay, that's what that is. Okay.
Trying to slip that in there like a subtitle. Sorry, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing 4 years, 71 million for
So,
Taiwan
gentlemen,
Walker to come to Philly. That is quite an overpay.
Yeah.
So Ted is 110% speaking facts. All right then.
Hashtag it. Facts.
That's the first time for everything, isn't there?
So what did you boys see in the last game with the Flyers and Avalanche? You know what I mean? I talked about it a little bit. Two guys that impressed me.
All right.
Saw 2 power play goals.
Well, to start things, one of the things I will say, the Flyers, I think they handled the adversity better than I think they handled it in other games. Going into that second period, 2-0 in that game, they had to kind of cowboy up a little bit here. They had we got to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps here. We're playing a really good team, and we got to make something happen. And they did. Slowly but surely, they started to get things going. And once they started to play their game, they started to stymie Colorado's defense. They kept Colorado's chances at a minimum. Sure, Colorado still had their opportunities. They're going to get them. But Hart was playing so well that it didn't even matter at that point. So it's like, great. You guys are playing solid defense. Hart's doing a great job tonight. So that eliminates any opportunities they are getting. And defense is clicking at the right time. Special teams-wise, they were playing very well. That second period was an amazing second period. The third period was not too bad. And then the latter portion of that period, I don't know what happened. Risto has his little piece of the blame there, but I also think Flyers kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit. They cracked a little bit unsure with the Avalanche pushing and coming as fast as they possibly could there to try and tie the game up, and they almost pulled it off. And it's one of those things of, okay, you guys count your lucky stars that you had an empty netter there, that you were able to pull that one off. Because if it had only stayed on, we might have had a replay of what happened in Montreal where we had 2 seconds left and Colorado ties the game and we have to go to overtime again. So they got lucky on that with that empty netter. But, they got to learn to close the game out. That's the very poor performance there towards the end of that game. You got a lot of pressure put on you there from Colorado, and you cracked under that pressure. Can't do that. Got to play better than that. When that net empties, you got to still shut them down.
Well, that's what I wanted to see from you guys. Was
Overall,
it more
I
of
would
an
say,
issue of Colorado? Was it more of an issue of Colorado coming at the Flyers, or the Flyers with a 4-1 lead sitting back too much?
Well, I mean, you have to expect that Colorado, they are the Stanley Cup champions, and they're going to show some character and get back into and try to get back into the game. I mean, they're not just going to, they didn't win the Stanley Cup by lying down. They're going to go out there and try to come back.
True. Yeah. That's just, team's going to try and get back into the. But again, I think it was more the Flyers started to kind of crack underneath that pressure. I don't think they were handling it very well. Plus also, to be fair, they took a couple of penalties that I wasn't a big fan of at some really bad times as well, which didn't help the situation.
Exactly, Maddie. See, that's why I wanted to get the root, because you got to weed that out if you're rebuilding this team, because that's part of the old sickness. You know what I mean? That complacency, that lack of compete, taking that foot off the fucking gas, making stupid penalties. I don't want to see it. That's what Torch doesn't want to see. It doesn't matter wins and losses. Eliminate that.
It's the dreaded 3-goal lead, Rob. You see. Listen.
Yeah.
What last Saturday, I had to witness a 3-0 lead for my team in the third period, and not only did we lose, again we lost, and didn't even get it into overtime. losing 4-3 to Edmonton with a 3-0 lead in the third period and not at least getting a point. These things happen, guys. When you get a lead, you have to not only you have to stay aggressive, you can't go into a defensive shell and just try to get the puck out of the zone. You got to go get the puck deep in the other zone and forecheck and try to get them to continue to make mistakes. And when you get a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2 because they pinched and they messed up, you've got to convert on them. That's the other thing.
Right. By the way, Mark, thank you very much. Welcome once again. And see Ted saying no cap, not my money item with the Phils. Hey Don, what's up, brother?
Hey, Dave.
Done.
Don, the Red Wings are having a
saying
pretty good
D'Angelo's
night tonight against Tampa Bay, huh?
The Prism saying D'Angelo's cross-check was dumb, even though it was a get-back penalty. Yes, that was one of the bad penalties I was thinking about, too, because I was like, that was a stupid penalty to take at that time. Understand that you want to, defend yourself, stick up for your team, whatever, but there's a fine line to walk when you do that, and that was one of those moments where it's just like, yeah, you did something stupid. Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Place for that.
Right. Ted saying, Torts wants to rebuild. Who do you think he wants gone besides Hayes? Do we trade TK? He probably gets the most. Well, right now, they've been taking calls on players, on almost everybody. So, I am of heart. I think that's the only one who's been exempted from that whole thing.
Kevin Hayes is going to be tough to move.
I don't know. At this point, yeah, that contract is. I don't know about that. That was a big contract that Fletch signed into.
Yeah, 7 years for $49 million.
Yeah,
I mean,
see, Don saying, yeah.
Yeah, if Detroit can hang on, that's a big win for them.
Yeah. And Benny's saying, what's the over-under on when Chuck is either kicked upstairs or altogether Torts will win this battle? Well, at this point, the only reason why Paul Holmgren was kicked upstairs is because Ed Snyder was still alive and he shouldn't have been. Paul Holmgren's a scam artist, and he pulled off the greatest scam of all time by making Ed Snyder think he knows what he was doing when he clearly didn't. But since unfortunately gone, I don't think he'd be kicked upstairs. I think he'd be kicked out the window. Would be the more decision. But I don't see it happening immediately. I think right now, and he's still here, but I would say if next year, if we're still in this position, yeah, I could see them finally making that decision. I think they'll let it go because Torts is a new coach. I think that's what they'll let it go for that reason. Let's see here. I don't know. What are you guys thinking?
Chuck gets kicked. So Benny's Nation. You have to give the coach a chance. That's the one thing, and Tortorella. I think Tortorella will get this situation straightened out. We'll get the kind of guys Tortorella likes in there, and things will start looking up.
You also can't forget that these guys, this roster is not even complete yet. You still have so many key guys that are hurt. You got to get Atkinson back into playing shape. He's going to be fine. you need the players back. You need to see what this roster looks like at 100%, and it's not. And that's the reason why the Flyers aren't playing as well as they should be. That's the big thing, and it's the reason why Chuck Fletcher is going to get another shot. I don't think he's going to be fired this year because he's not looking at his roster at 100%. You know, you still got at least 3 key guys that are still out on injury. So that's a big thing. You know, they made a big deal about the Avalanche winning about key injuries. Why isn't anybody putting that towards the Flyers? So once we see what this roster looks like 100%, I think we're really going to start seeing the Chuck Fletcher hot seat really heat up. You're muted, Robbie.
I keep on having issues, man. It's coming back to StreamYard. The buttons are different. But anyway, I couldn't agree with you. That's a fabulous point that you make, Brian. You know, they came into the season very healthy, and you miss, you know, I mean, they came into this season minus a few pieces, but overall the rest of the roster was healthy, and then you lose a Wade Allison, you know, who was looking really good early on, and he's been out with that oblique and that hip pointer. You know, you start missing a couple other pieces where you have to have, you know, Willman up on the roster, you know what I mean, and pulling up pieces that you really didn't plan, that weren't part of your, you know, original strategy. So I think ultimately, yeah, you can't. The results were going to are really have nothing to do with Chuck Fletcher's job security. It's all about, do they want to? Is he making the right decisions? And are we seeing those changes that I alluded to earlier?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's. I mean, Chuck's in a difficult situation right now. You want to move him, you want to fire him, but you really can't, because you can't really, like I was saying earlier in the show, you can't control injuries. You can't control when guys are coming back, and it's tough when some of your best roster guys haven't played in a year and a half. And
here's the other
you can't
problem,
blame that on Chuck Fletcher, though.
Chuck Fletcher, here's the problem. You got a new coach, okay? If you fire Chuck Fletcher, you know, Tortorella is still the coach. You can't hire a new general manager unless he gets to pick his coach. I mean, that's something that always seems to be a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It
Right.
just, you got to give it 2 years. So if it doesn't start improving towards the middle of next year, then, you know, then maybe you move on. But, you know, let's see what happens. You're gonna have some cap space in the off season. You know, you're gonna be able to get rid of a few guys. You're gonna have some quality draft picks. Let's see if he can put together a quality draft, and maybe a couple of guys can make the team and start making a difference next year.
Be interesting how he handles that. I mean, we've already seen so far how he's handled the adversity of a coach that didn't pan out, and a system that didn't pan out. And then we also saw how he handled, you know, an offseason where he had a little bit of money to play around with, and he made some questionable decisions on one end where maybe he didn't know an injury was coming, like most, and that happens. But the other one where there were kind of red flags, oh, this wasn't the smartest move in the world to make. So we've seen some interesting moves by Fletcher so far. And I mean, honestly, the least strange one so far has been Tortorella. But with that being said, though, it's going to be one of those things of if the Flyers are, like Brian said, if they're healthy and they're still having their problems, yeah, I could see the Flyers kind of saying, oh, okay, this not getting any better. This ain't getting any better anytime soon. We might need to make a change. we really might need to make a change.
Exactly.
Ted
And the
was
people
saying,
that are
no way in hell Chuck put together this terrible roster. Sure.
To this comment here, you can sit here and say what you want. If you look at most of this roster is put together by Ron Hextall. most of the players that are on this roster were drafted by Ron Hextall. Okay? So to sit here and say that this is all on Chuck Fletcher, it's not all on Chuck. I'm going to sit here and say that some of these players that he brought in are mistakes, absolutely. I won't sit here and deny that. But to sit here and say that this entire team is on Chuck Fletcher, it's not. It's not. And you know what?
Yeah, that's not really fair to say that.
It's not fair because you look at Sanheim. Sanheim's solid, not a Chuck Fletcher guy. Provorov, not a Chuck Fletcher guy. TK, not a Chuck Fletcher guy. Carter Hart, not a Chuck Fletcher guy. Most of his roster's still guys that Ron Hextall drafted or brought in. So, do I follow this team? Yeah. I do follow this team. And for the record, my name's not Ryan.
I think Ted knows that. I think he's just trying to he's just trolling you right now.
But let's be real. This team isn't healthy. This team hasn't been healthy in a year and a half. So how can we really sit here and say that all of this is on Chuck Fletcher? We can't. Let's get this team 100% first, and then let's see where Chuck Fletcher is. Did he handcuff this team? Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and say that he didn't. They're in a tough situation because of him. They're in a tough situation because of Ron Hextall, too. So if we're going to place the blame on the GM, let's go back a little bit further and let's place it where it belongs on Ron Hextall. Because that to me, that's where most of the blame should go.
I mean, blame as
because I guarantee you, if this team was successful, Ron Hextall would get some of that credit. If this team was successful, Ron Hextall would get credit, and so would Chuck Fletcher.
Probably.
So if we're going to place the blame, let's place the blame a little bit further back on Ron Hextall where it belongs. Because this roster is still essentially the team that Ron Hextall put together. Because this team is handcuffed right now. They can't make huge moves.
And Ron Hextall refused to trade any of these young players or any of the draft picks to improve the team while he was there. That's why he ultimately got fired. So, you know, that's another issue that he kind of caused. You know, which one of the guys signed Kevin Hayes, by the way?
I think that was a Fletcher move.
That was a Fletcher move, yeah.
That one
was
a Fletcher move. Made me start to scratch my head on him.
Well, I think AV had a lot to do with that because, you know, Kevin Hayes, he coached Kevin Hayes, AV, and, you know, he liked Kevin Hayes. How couldn't you? Kevin Hayes, in his last season with the Rangers, really looked like a guy who was ready to come out and score 70, 80 points a season. And for whatever reason, injuries or what have you, it just has never happened with him.
But it makes no sense, all the Kevin Hayes hate right now. He's the best player on the roster right now. He's a point-per-game player. I don't get it. Everyone's getting ready to say trade. You can't trade Hayes.
Yeah,
he's got a full no-movement clause on his contract.
Plus,
and he's having one of the better offensive years that he's had since he's been here.
He's making $7 million a year for the next 4 years. So I don't think that's going to happen. Wow. St. Louis's goaltender tonight is standing on his head. Did you guys know that St. Louis, the last 4 games, actually the last 3 games, has given up a minimum of 6 goals a game?
Yeah.
Coming into tonight's tilt with the Isles, that's unbelievable.
Yes, Hextall got you the number 1 goalie, but what else did he get you? What else did the Flyers have? Did you have your 40-goal scorer because of Ron Hextall? No. Do you have your solid number 1 defensive player? No. Did Chuck Fletcher get you that either? No, but let's keep going back. Stop putting all the blame on Fletcher. It's not all on him. Go back. Some of this is Ron Hextall. Ask Pittsburgh how he's doing.
Pittsburgh seems to be struggling somewhat.
Right. And he hasn't done anything flashy over there either. I don't even think he's really drafted all that well. All I'm saying is we're putting all this blame on because this isn't all Chuck Fletcher. That's all I'm saying. Let's go back and let's point the finger at Ron Hextall too, because a lot of the players on this current roster are Ron Hextall guys.
I will honestly say this. I think that you can't really just blame the one guy. The entire organization and the way that they handled the 2010s. I broke it down 2-3 seasons ago of what the Flyers did when they made that little run in 2010 and they fucked themselves in the ass by trying to make it happen again. And they made stupid decision after stupid decision after stupid decision that whittled away any farm system they could have had, tried to stay competitive when they really weren't at the level they needed to be to compete with teams like Pittsburgh or Chicago or any other team you want to throw out there at the time. And the Flyers continued to try and bring that back and tried to continue to make that happen again. And they hurt themselves. They shot themselves in the foot. And it wasn't just Hextall who did it. And it wasn't just Fletcher who did it. Holmgren did it too when he was the GM. Hell, Clark did it in the early 2000s, but the only reason he got away with it because you had no salary cap. So he could do that and get away with it back then. So there's a problem. You have the guys still think this from what doesn't work now. That's what kills this organization in the long run. And that's why we've also had issues of, okay, if we're going to rebuild, then we got to commit to it. And then they pull back on it, which is why when they fired Hextall, a lot of the shit hit the fan because Hextall had a plan, but then Holmgren fired him. And then Fletcher now has to pick up the pieces of what the hell Hextall was trying to do. And now Fletcher wants to put in his own philosophy and his own shit. And now we're getting the situation we're getting now. So you see the problem. Flyers aren't committing to anything. It's not a quick fix. They want nothing to do with it. They would rather let's get back into the playoffs now than fuck the playoffs. Let's rebuild for the future. It's been the consistent problem that this organization has had for a couple of decades now. And it has done more damage to the Flyers than anything one player, one GM, one goalie, one coach has ever done to this team. It's a broken philosophy the Flyers continue to follow. Again, that's the problem. Not committing to anything. That's why the organization has to stop doing that. They have to commit to something. And if it doesn't work, fine. But you know what? You have to try. You have to try and fix this team. And yeah, it takes a minute. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes a few seasons. Let it happen. Sure, guys are going to take victory laps on you. Sure, it's going to be worse. But you just have to admit it. That's like, fix your team. Stay committed. Build towards it. And let the GM do his job. Let them develop your players. Go ahead and let them do it. Stop trying to get your hands in there and how you fuck longer. That is what it's really been the issue of. And unfortunately, it seems to be what continues to be the problem with the Flyers. And then there's the issue of sometimes you get the worry of, well, does this GM realize that? And that's the other issue a lot of people are worried about. Does Fletcher realize that? But then we're also not thinking about, well, what pressure is Fletcher getting from up? Is he getting pressure from us that's telling him we need to make the playoffs? If we don't make the playoffs in the next couple of seasons, your ass is out the door. So now he's thinking, oh, get his team around in 2 seasons instead of committing to a rebuild plan. Which I hope is not what's happening, but that's the problem, is that there's been a number of issues of not committing to a rebuild, not effectively saying, hey, we're not a Stanley Cup team, and if we want to get there, we got to be bad for a few years to get there. And it's just as simple as that. No matter what sport it is, you have to get bad to get good. It's just how it goes. You can't be a dominant team forever. So
I just want to know what facts am I ignoring, Ted? I'm sitting here telling you that Fletcher's been an issue. I'm not sitting here saying that. I'm not saying he's not. He's made some bad moves. I'll sit there and I'll flat out tell you that. Yeah, to Benny's comment, the Risto trade was ridiculous.
it was.
Did I think he was I optimistic about it? Absolutely. But to sit here and say that all this year is falling on Chuck Fletcher is asinine because the roster is not 100%. It's not a healthy roster. So how do we know what this roster really is built on? Because we don't have our best forward in Sean Couturier. We're just getting Atkinson back, who arguably could be one of our best shooters. You're missing your best defenseman, who probably won't play, is not playing again this year. And then you're missing who else am I missing? There's another big name out there.
I mean,
matter.
JVR's been out of the lineup a few games. He's been key in terms of a front net presence on the power play.
Yeah, no, absolutely. JVR is another big one. This roster isn't 100%. You can't. I mean, I get it. You need a scapegoat. So yeah, Fletcher's going to catch the flack for it. But to put this all on Fletcher right now is ridiculous, considering your entire roster right now is pretty much the Phantoms. Do you have some talent in the pipeline? Possibly. Tyson Forster's having a really good year in Lehigh. Cutter Gautier's having a fantastic year in Boston College. There's talent here. You just need to get it. And you need to get these guys 100% to see what you really, truly have. You don't know what you have until it's 100%. And this roster is not 100%. So it's tough to sit here and really dictate how good this team really is. Because we don't know. We don't know without our best two-way player. We don't know without their best defenseman. We don't know without JVR, who could arguably be one of their better power play guys. We just don't know. And you won't know until the team is 100%. And this team hasn't been 100% for almost 2 years.
The problem is, are they going to be 100% this year, ever?
That's the biggest question. Because it's a big question, and it's a question of we don't necessarily know we have an answer to. Yeah.
Some of the guys who don't get on the ice that are always hurt have to go. I mean, that's you know what they say. Participation is 90% of the problem. If you're not playing, you can't score. You can't score when you're on the bench or when you're in the stands. You got to be out on the ice. And if these guys aren't on the ice, they got to go. They're taking up salary cap room, and they're blocking a young player from coming up and possibly showing something that might help in the future. I mean, that's an issue.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I get it. I get the questions towards him. I'm not saying don't have questions towards Chuck Fletcher. But to sit here and point the finger and say this is all your fault, I think is a little too much. Do you want to question him? Absolutely. You should question him. Because it's a great question is, where are we draft-wise? What prospects do we have in the pipeline? There's 2 that I know of that could be ready to go next year. Only 2. What else do they got? Great question to ask. Free agency. It's tough because you don't have a lot of money to spend right now because of some bad contracts given by both Hextall and Fletcher. It's the Flyers are in a really tough situation because of how things have gone the last few years. Injury-wise, free agency-wise, I get it. I'm not sitting here, don't have questions about it. Don't sit there and be like, oh, well, maybe this isn't the guy to do it, because he may not be. And right now, yeah, is it leaning towards no? Absolutely. I'm not sitting here saying that. I'm not sitting here completely defending Chuck Fletcher. I'm defending more of the roster than I am him. Because there's still question marks on this roster. Because it's not 100%. And yeah, I'm confident in Coots when he gets back. Because we saw the type of player that he is. He's a top 3 play. He's one of the top 3 two-way players in the game. JVR, after this year, it's not going to matter because he's probably going to get traded at the deadline.
He's done anyway.
Right. So at that point, JVR it's a non-issue. It just the Flyers are just in a really tough situation right now with injuries and the salary cap. And to Maddie's point, yeah, you got to figure out what it is that you want to do. What's your plan? What's this plan moving forward?
Right.
I think they got to get younger
and commit to it.
Quite honestly,
don't pull out halfway through it, which they've done before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, and not I know the Rangers are having problems this year, but if you guys all recall the infamous letter a few years ago when they sent it to their fans that everybody they're going to rebuild and they're going to get rid of all their players, and they did that, and they had a couple of tough years, but you know what, it's worth it because now you have some good players on the team, and hopefully hopefully this year they'll get it going and win a few games. We'll see about that. But they had a good year last year, and there's a lot of hope. I think the Flyers can do the same kind of thing, especially when you've got a real good draft this year coming up, and they haven't gotten rid of a lot of picks, and they should probably get a lot more picks based on the fact that they are going to be in a position to trade some of these guys. The guy I would get rid of the trade deadline to me is Konechny. I think that's a guy you can absolutely get a number 1 pick for. You might be able to get a 2. You might be able to get a 2 or a 3 for JVR too, because they can be. He can be very good on the power play for the right team. Yeah, any team that needs a net front presence on the power play, and believe me, a lot of teams do need that. He'd be a good fit for a lot of teams in that kind of a situation.
How am I overestimating Coots there, Ted? The guy's won a Selkie, and he's finished in top 3 in voting 2 of the 3 years. He's a top 2-way player in the game. He's a top 3 2-way player. He's a 200-foot player. How am I overestimating him? Benny's point is great because you know what? He can't stay healthy. But the problem with him right now is he can't even get healthy. Go ahead, Rob.
You took the words right off the tip of my tongue there, man. You can't get healthy. I just want to see him on the ice. We'll address that later. But the key thing is that if and when he gets back on the ice, that ring rust. See, you can't. That's the only creator that I could see on the other side is that you can't count on him being that Selkie-like player right from Jump Street. But the talent's still there if the back can shore up.
No, absolutely. I agree with you 100% there, Rob. That's going to be a big question is the rink rust, and that's going to take time to shake off. And Jim brings up another great point. It's tough being the Flyers in the situation they're in while in the toughest division in hockey. This is hands down the toughest division in hockey because every team is pretty much in it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're all good.
And while while we are seeing a slight shift and it's slowly starting to take over where a little bit better of an Atlantic division is starting to come in, because for a while there's only 3 teams in the Atlantic for the longest time. We're starting to see a slight shift in that.
Detroit's starting
and maybe some of the Metro teams were waiting. Right, and you see those shifts from time to time in conferences where in one particular era this division's good and this division there's 3 teams, that's it. A lot of that shakes out to drafting and who was bad at one period and whatnot. And who made we're waiting for that drop off in the Metro, and it's still not here yet between Washington and Pittsburgh, between 2 teams that you're waiting for it for when they're going to start becoming consistently out of it. That hasn't happened yet. So until that happens, you're still in the toughest division in the league. And it's as simple as that. And the Islanders have a rebound year, which they seem to be doing right now. That doesn't help anything either. Because now it's just like, oh shit, a little bit better than they were early years. The Devils are playing amazing right now, so it's like, well, this doesn't help anything. This does not help anything at all because you have the usual suspects that are playing well in the division right now, or playing decently in the division right now, and now you got to try and help solve. Also, Jim's point where that division can easily turn on you very fast. Also, a couple of other things too. Jim said, according to experts, a now washed-up 36-year-old Sidney Crosby is now going to be 4th in the NHL in scoring after getting 3 more tonight, which is like, holy shit. It's like, yeah, damn, man. I would see Pittsburgh out so well. Like, how lucky do you have to be as a franchise to be so shitty of a team that you run into Mario Lemieux in the 80s, and then to be so shitty in the early 2000s you run into Crosby? It's like, God damn it, I wish the Flyers had that luck. God.
And Malkin.
On top of that, I also say...
Yeah, don't forget Malkin.
Malkin, too. You're right. Yeah. Can't. And then... Jesus. Oh, and Fleury. Can't forget that either, too, because they had Fleury to go along with it. So,
Yeah.
Jesus. Talking about getting shitty at the right
and
possible
Letang.
time.
Yeah, and Letang.
Yeah, Letang the day as well, who was not going to come to the NHL unless he could play with Lemieux. That's a fact nobody else brings up. He wasn't said, come to Pittsburgh and you play with me. And he said, all right, I'll go and play now. So that's another thing people don't realize, too. He didn't want to play in the NHL until Lemieux said, you'll play with me. So it's just, Jesus, talk about getting shitty at the right possible time.
Twice. Basically, the reason they
Twice.
got Mario Lemieux was because they traded Randy Carlyle. You know, when they had actually a chance to be a pretty good team, they went and traded Randy Carlyle in the middle of the season, so they would make sure they'd lose every game. Randy Carlyle was being a bad dog, so to speak, and he was playing well, and they were winning games because of him, and they couldn't have that.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny though, because the way it worked out, the Devils ended up getting Kirk Muller, right? Instead of Mario Lemieux. Because they didn't do that. They didn't purposely lose. Kirk Muller won more Stanley Cups than Mario Lemieux did. Am I wrong?
That is ironic. Because
he did, actually, yeah. And
no, I
he
think
was really
you're
good
right.
for the Canadians.
Right.
Mario got 2.
That's ironic. Yeah, he got the 2.
About that.
The 2 years in a row.
Muller got 3.
Muller did have 3.
He did. He was on
That's
all
just
3 of
funny
those
how
teams,
that all
wasn't
worked
he?
out.
But with the Habs, yeah, I think so.
And then he was with the Habs. They didn't win, but they had some pretty good teams when he was there.
Oh, he didn't win with the Habs. My fault. I thought he did.
No, they didn't win. He didn't win the Stanley Cup with the Habs. He won 3 though with the Devils.
Right.
But he was really good with the Habs. The Habs just never won the cup with him. I don't think. No, when the second cup they won with Roy, they didn't win the. He wasn't on the team yet. He was still on the. He was on the Devils for a while.
Okay, so he was still on the Devils in '93.
Oh, absolutely.
Ted was saying, was it always a draft lottery? No. As alluded to a little bit by Brad there, back when the Penguins got Lemieux, it was not a draft lottery. If you were the shittiest team, you got the number 1 pick, which is why they did that trade, as Brad was telling us.
Randy Carlyle. He's the reason the Penguins got Lemieux.
Bastard.
He was a good player though. Randy Carlyle. He really was. And then he went on and was a pretty good coach too for a while.
Yeah. Yep.
I think Brian knows that firsthand a little bit. Just a little.
What?
Randy Carlyle being a pretty good coach.
Yeah, he won a Stanley Cup in Anaheim.
Yeah, he wasn't bad, right?
It wasn't bad at all. I mean, his second go around wasn't as good, but his first go around was actually really. He did a damn good job of that roster.
Yeah, and he was a really sneaky, dirty player, and he did score a few goals. Now the Islanders are coming back and making it close. Too bad. It's 5-3 now.
Now you hate the Blues.
Well, the Flyers. The Blues had 5-1, and now it's 5-3 with 5 minutes to go in the game, or in the third period. So, God forbid they blow this game. Oh, he kicked that in. How's that a goal?
And Crosby now. Oh, if it's a kicking motion, then no, it should not count.
No, he stuck his. No, here's what happened.
Crosby
Hudson Fasching stuck up his leg. He stuck his leg out on a shot from the point, and he was standing in front of the net. He stuck his leg out, and the puck hit his leg and went in. and they gave it to him. I didn't know you were allowed to do that.
Well,
Apparently.
probably because
It wasn't a distinct kicking motion, but he purposely.
See,
Oh my
that's
God! The Islanders just scored again. It's 5-4. Ah, come on! You got to be kidding me. I don't know if you
what was
guys
I saying about the Islanders having a rebound year?
Yeah. Oh,
Quick
man.
striking offense. They're one of those offenses that put up 2-3 goals on you like that.
Yeah, they just St. Louis's defense is horrendous. Grice should have stopped that one though, but that last one shouldn't have counted. How are you allowed to stick your leg out to deflect a shot? Since when are you allowed to do that? Is that legal?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing when a player it's the same thing when a player is stopping with their skate, but the puck happens to hit off their skate and go into the goal. Since it's technically not a kicking motion, stopping. Well, I guess they're looking at it from that angle, which I guess they're saying they give that leeway, which again I think is bullshit anyway. Because yeah, you're stopping, but you know what you're doing. You can clearly see where you're stopping, and you're stopping right where the puck is. It's like, come on.
Yeah, but no, he actually picked his leg up so that the puck would hit his leg. Ruby just took a time out now, so now they're it's 5-4 now with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the third period, and it was 5-1.
You think it's happy?
Oh. I mean, I know the Islanders are going to tie it. It's not even a question of if. The question is, are the Blues going to be able to get a point out of this game?
That'll be the question. But Jim was saying Crosby is now 14 points from passing Teemu Selanne for 16th all time, which is, again, I'm actually surprised that he's behind Selanne. I thought he was ahead of him, but I'm just a little surprised by that as well. Still, though,
that's how great Timo was. I mean, a Hall of Famer himself. So,
yeah, Timo scored. How many goals did he
score
his first season?
Owns the
70?
one.
72, 74, something like that.
Something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, something like that. He has the. I think he still has the all-time rookie. Because that's the one thing Gretzky couldn't get because Gretzky spent his first years in the WHA instead of the NHL.
Yeah, but he didn't score 70 goals in his first year in the NHL, did he?
No, I mean Timu came in after Gretzky's rookie year too.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he played for the Jets, didn't he?
But it was the one. Yeah.
But I mean, he did. He really. He went into a whole different class when he played for Anaheim, though.
He really was, and he was for a very long time. Him and Korea together were absolutely filthy.
Oh yeah. And then they brought in Niedermeyer. And Niedermeyer became a great defenseman.
That was years later, though.
Yeah, that's true. But it was just nice to see that because it just, how mad it probably made Devil fans.
Could have used him in 2003, I'd tell you that.
Yeah. The only reason the Devils won that series is because they had home ice advantage.
That was a painful series to watch. It was, it's like, man, I really wanted the Devils to lose that series so fucking bad. It's like, of course they couldn't. It's like, come on, can you guys just fucking lose, please, and go the fuck away? No one wanted you to be here in the first Furry Cup.
No.
Fuck.
No. And the NHL probably hated it because nobody liked the Devils and nobody even wanted to watch them because they were such an annoying team. They played the trap and the NHL hated them so much they made the trap illegal.
Pretty much.
Because of
and
the
they
Devils,
did it by making they also
the red they changed the red line. They made the red line not a non-factor because of that. The only thing the red line counts for now is
they took away, and so the NHL pretty much, Yeah, and then they also made the trapezoid so Brodeur couldn't skate all around the back of his net with the puck whenever he fucking wanted. That was one of the major reasons why they put that in place. And the two-line pass rule, the trap made mincemeat out of the two-line pass, so you had to get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how much the NHL hated the Devils. They made all these different moves to screw them up. Oh, you gotta love that.
Oh, well, anyway, what's up, Bryce?
Yo, Mr. Blackwell, how are we this evening?
And Tom saying they think, yeah. We move to the period. So, first period sponsor, that was for a change of career coverage. You want to contact Alan Foy at eXp Realty or give him a call at 302-682-8820 or visit him at the web at alan.foy at exprealty.com. And time and our fun segment, the second period, brought to you by All Campus OC. If you're ever down in the ocean and you want to get yourself some nice merchandise from your favorite team, no matter what sport it is, go to All Campus. They're giving 20% off everything in their store, including hats, shirts, to all of the A2D subscribers. So get subscribed up. Head on down to Ocean City, New Jersey, and whether it's during the season and going or whether it's the off season, doesn't really matter. All Campus always there to serve you. John Coyle, the man, and he does the rant booth as well. So if you want to check that out, which is always a fun time, so definitely head on down there and get yourself some nice merchandise for your favorite team. Speaking of merchandise, by the way, I do believe we have ourselves some new merch that we've got available for it. But Brian, I think do you have the info for it? Or no, here it is, a2dmerch.com. Here it is. Okay. I was looking for it.
Brand new site, get your A2D merch.
We got all kinds of cool new stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so get your show stuff and show your A2D pride, a2dmerch.com. All right, then. So, gentlemen, let's get started with our fun little game that we're going to have today, and that is Burn It or seasons ago. The original version of the reverse retros came out. Well, we have our second round of it. So, Robbie, do you still have that image to share with everybody?
I'm going to try that right now. Hold up.
All right, then. So while Robbie brings that up, should be throughout 76 goals Timo Solani got in his rookie season to set that record.
That's unreal.
Thank you, Jim,
Esposito
for
scored 78,
throwing
and how
that
long
at
did
us.
that last? You think about it. Esposito, for a long time, had that record. 78 goals, right, in 78 games, and Timo does it, gets 76 in his rookie year.
And it wasn't
was
even
crazy.
with the full 84, I think it was still at the time.
Yeah, I couldn't stand Phil Esposito when he was with Boston. I couldn't stand him when he was with the Rangers either. Big, slow, fat piece of shit. He stood in front of the net and just stood in front of the net, the greatest garbage man to ever play hockey. He made Chris Kreider look like it.
Has
an artist.
Has anyone ever been called the garbage man?
Well, I used to call Esposito the garbage man.
Yeah, because I feel like
I don't know if anybody ever. Wayne Simmons was a garbage man.
Yeah, he was.
He was, but we love that.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Chris
Chris Kreider is a garbage man if you ever saw one.
Yeah, so is JVR. I mean, these guys, it's not necessarily a bad term to call them garbage, man.
No,
It's just the term comes from, just
scoring
guys who
garbage.
just
Yeah, well, scoring garbage goals, scoring rebounds, getting
rebound
tipped
goals,
in.
standing out in front. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Uh,
Hey, listen. What's the ugly ones count just as much as the pretty ones when it comes to hockey.
Yes, they do.
That's just how
By
it
the way,
works.
the Blues hung on, scored a couple of empty net goals against the Islanders, and get the 7-4 victory. So good.
Also, Jason
By
Robertson
the way,
has yet to extend his streak.
By the way, Ted, apparently you rule, as according to Brad rules, apparently according to Ted on that one.
Okay. But by the way, I know I haven't been able to comment on this, but I am really pissed off the Rangers traded Ryan Reeves. You guys are gonna, when we go into Philly, you guys are gonna beat the shit out of us. I mean, we may win the game, but you guys are gonna beat the shit out of us. I mean, what are we gonna do if Delorier and Sealy and who's the other goon? Oh, Ewan.
McEwen.
What are we gonna do with these guys? Just decide that they're gonna start abusing some of our players. Who's gonna stick their nose in to fight any of these guys?
Oh, right here it is. I found
Truba?
it.
We're gonna have our captain have to fight one of those guys. I mean, sometimes I think our GM is pretty freaking stupid too, guys. Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah. So
I still say that Florida
We got
Panther
our-
jersey is the best one though. And that's all the way at the top left.
well, I guess it's time to jump in on this then, and we might as well start since the love for the. We will make that the first jersey to dive into. So, gents, let's get started with it. The Florida Panthers retro reverse jersey. Brad already, he'll wear it. What do you guys will? Will you guys wear it or will you burn it?
Go ahead, Brian.
Florida Panthers, I'd wear it.
Yeah, I'd wear it, man.
Okay.
I love the I love like the sky blue type, almost borderline on teal, and the palm tree. I definitely rock that. I wear it.
All right then. I'll be honest with you. I like the choice of the logo. I like how they chose the shoulder logo from back in the day instead of going with the Panther. Well, no, I love the old Florida Panthers logo. I always loved that logo. But I do like that it has the shoulder patch from that era back in the day, which I always thought was an interesting look. Yeah, I'd cool looking jersey.
Hey, you know what, Maddie? I'm gonna stop sharing.
So let's
that
see
a
here.
little
Next
bit.
up,
Maddie, real quick. I'm gonna stop sharing this and make a bigger image for you guys to see.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, then. So, yeah, Rob, go ahead and do that. And here, let me just pull up the poll again. And, yeah, there we go. Cool. So, back up to that. So, before we get the bigger image there. Okay, back again. Let's pop that one right back in there. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Thank you, Rob. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, then. So next up, we have the Montreal Canadiens, who have a bit of that, also a little bit of that sky blue, powder bluish look here, and then a dark blue on the stripe like normal with the regular red and white logo that they have. This one I feel like is I think it's a slight homage to the Nordiques with their colors. I think that's what this was based off of, the color scheme at least, to their old
absolutely.
Quebec rivals.
Absolutely.
Actually, yeah. For Montreal, I don't mind this jersey, honestly. I'd wear it. I think this is actually a nice-looking jersey, and I think it makes the logo pop a lot. Very, very well in that look.
I'd burn it.
Burn that motherfucker to the ground. How
Our
dare
first
you
burn.
use the how dare you Montreal use the colors of the Quebec Nordiques on your jersey? Fuck you.
Oh boy, are
That
we going to
bastard.
start? Are we going to start the French and British war now?
Well, I mean, Colorado does it because that's where they came from, and they're legit in that. This is fucking fugazi.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on this one, Robbie.
Thank you.
You know what? The Canadians jerseys are so nice. I don't know why they would even bother having another jersey. I mean, they have probably some of the nicest color schemes for both their home and road uniforms. So,
Well, they're hamstrung a little bit, Brad, because their jerseys never change. So how do you go retro?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I remember, though. I mean, they were the team for a long time.
I mean, they did. True. But I mean, that white jersey with the blue and the red stripe with the logo on it, which I thought would always be interesting if they decided to make that their regular away jersey, to actually have the same jersey scheme and still have the classic red for your home, but have the white for the road. Actually, if they were decided to incorporate that. But then again, some people who might be Habs fans would then call blasphemy on them not having their regular white with the red stripe at the top home away jersey that they had for a long time.
Agreed.
Let's see here. Benny's he's not a fan of the Habs one, so he's burning it too. I'd
have to burn it.
Brad,
too.
did you burn right?
Yeah, I can't.
All right then.
Canadians. I have no use for the Canadians. When I grew
that
up,
original six
they
hatred
always,
boiling through.
Listen, when I grew up, they won every year, and it was really, really tough to take.
Yeah, I could understand. I mean, if it was boiling your blood, I could imagine how a Boston fan feels about it. So
Yeah, well, yeah, you definitely.
Yeah, because that was the team Montreal usually beat in the finals to get their cups. Usually.
Yeah, they took care. They took care of us one year too, in 78, 79.
That's true. And they took care of the Flyers in 76 and ended the Broad Street Bully dynasty. So yeah, they reigned terror in the 70s. They did.
Yeah, and so man, they just had their whole team was Hall of Fame players. Don't forget there was no draft back then, so they just every French Canadian player that was in junior hockey wanted to play for the Canadians, and so they got them all. I mean, they got Lafleur, Beliveau, Cournoyer, Richard. Both the big guy and the little guy. The two brothers.
Well, to be fair though,
it was ridiculous.
Well, to be fair though, the Lafleur one was more of they just fleeced California of their pick, and then they picked Guy Lafleur.
Yeah.
So they kind of just the dumb organization.
I forgot about that. Yeah, which is why all the players bolted for the WHA when they as soon as the WHA came, half the team went to the WHA. So that was that's what ultimately upended that organization.
Yeah, you could thank Charles Finley for that one.
Yep.
But let's see here.
Well, they didn't want to wear white skates.
All right,
can you imagine the abuse?
No, I don't even know why we'll get to that in a minute. But all right, yeah, the famous picture with the nose. Yeah, that was funny. But all right, on to Detroit's jersey here, which is just Detroit spelled in white on black stripes with a red jersey. This is a definite reverse of their old style jerseys that they had back in the day, which was just white with red stripes and Detroit spelled white lettering on the red stripes, which was like back in the 30s or the 20s, I believe it would have been. But I'm burning this jersey.
No question.
That's an awful jersey.
I wouldn't even waste the gasoline on it. I just throw it away in the trash.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Sorry, Don.
Benny's
worse
on
than
our
this.
side. Burn it.
That's worse than an ugly Christmas sweater.
But if I recall correctly, I think Don said that he wasn't a fan of it himself, so he's probably all with us on that.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's nothing to it. It's there. It's just.
Yeah. By
There.
the way, their regular uniforms are great. So just to make a point that I'm not anti-Detroit. That jersey's terrible.
Right.
Can we have just a little imagination?
All right. On to
Well, again, I think this is another situation where it's similar
yeah.
to like.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I think it's another situation where it's similar to Montreal. They haven't really made many changes to their jerseys over time, so you kind of don't really have a whole lot to go on.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, Don, I think, summarizes it. Yeah, that shit is trash. Matt or Rob, do we get a draft lottery show? We'll definitely keep that. We'll keep that date thumbtacked, and we'll see if we can get that draft lottery show and make it happen. We'll try to see if we can do that when that time rolls around for you, Ted. So stay tuned for that.
Even do a jump on a live or something. You know what I mean? At the very least, if it's not our night,
Right. Something. We'll do something. Okay. So let's see here. On to Calgary's. And I'll be honest with you, I went back and forth on Calgary's. I thought, interesting. It's just you take the white away and put the C white instead of making the C red like you did with those original jerseys. By the way, I always loved this design from Calgary. I always loved this jersey design that they had. But I'm kind of... I don't have a third option. I got to go with it. And this is my fault. I said burn it or wear it. I'll wear it. You want to know why? Because I still love that jersey design. I'll hold it with pride. I still love that design. I'll go with it.
I love it. I think it's one of the better jerseys that came out with this year. I just think everything all together, the whole just scheme, it just works. Damn it! Just like that, they tied the game up.
Right.
Yeah, and even that little L at the bottom too, it makes it a little pop a little bit leading to the C. The only thing I could say bad about this was I actually like Calgary's last year better with the horse and the stampede. I like that better, and the flames coming off of like what would be the main. But I like this jersey too. I'd wear it. Yeah,
the only reason why they didn't do that, Robbie, is because they went with that as their alternate jersey this year. That's their alternate logo.
Of course they were. That jersey's fucking hot fire. Literally.
Dude, that shit, their alternate jersey is, I like it even better than I like this one.
I see what you did there, Rob.
Spit that fire. Yes.
Don't think I didn't. Brad.
I like it.
Brad, what are you doing? You like it?
Yeah,
Are you wearing it? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
I think it looks real sharp. That C really pops on the black.
That it does.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen them wear that old Atlanta jersey
Benny.
too. That Atlanta jersey was pretty nice. The Atlanta Flame jersey, the red and yellow one.
Good call.
Right.
But that's okay.
Oh, no,
this is fine.
Yeah. Benny's saying Flames would wear it, so Benny's on the wear it side for that one.
Word. Smart man.
All right, gents. We move on to the Edmonton Oilers. Oh boy. So there are some interesting thoughts to this one. So I know where this came from. This came from that early 2000s era where they were playing around with maybe changing the logo, changing the design of the jersey. The problem is that I was not a massive fan of this particular era of the Oilers look because I don't think I was as huge a fan of their sort of extreme, let's tone all of our colors down. look that they had to compete with the other teams' looks in the 90s. I wasn't a fan of the copper and dark navy blue look that the Oilers had at the time. So I kind of would burn this. I'm not a huge fan of this particular era of the Oilers. At least I wasn't a big fan of it. Their teams were fun because they had some scrappy ass teams at the time, but I'm not a huge fan of this look.
This one I love. I love it better than the original one. This one, I think, with the orange in it, actually makes everything pop a little bit more. I think it's just better thought out design. The one before in what was it, 2006 when they originally introduced it was kind of black. It was just bland. There was like nothing to it. This I like with the orange introduced along with all the stripes and the lettering numbers, and especially that oil drop in the center of the logo there. I love it. I would absolutely wear this.
Looks like a little animal with an eye. I mean,
I think it's supposed to be a gear. I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Looks like a snake.
Maybe that was what they were going for too.
Looks like a reptile with a red eye.
Yeah.
You ever watch those scary
maybe on how you fit.
I mean, you ever see that?
With the bad CGI and the shitty monster movies?
Yeah. Well, you ever see that one horror movie with the giant snakes, with the giant anacondas, and they all have
Anaconda?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like the head looks like a giant anaconda.
That could be pretty intimidating on the ice, though, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised that the mix takes a little bit. I mean, I think Brian was more siding with me. Maddie, this is actually my favorite of all 32.
Really?
Matter of fact, I'm
Interesting.
strongly considering getting a Connor McJesus jersey in this, because what I love about it, I love like the oil streaking with the lines. It really has like a comic book feel to it. And if you notice on that gear, there's 5 sprungs, right? Which represents each of their 5 cups.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, that is good.
Nice.
That is good. It's hard to see that.
Right.
It's like it's kind of it's that subtle tribute. Like the Islanders do the same thing with what looks like stick tape with the stripes on the stick. That's for the 4 cups that the Islanders have. So I like that.
See, with those gears, they look like like the body of the snake, though.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well,
I mean,
honestly, depending upon your feel of the Oilers, Peter Pocklington, some people might consider him a snake. So, with the way that
well, I'm sure Calgary fans would agree with my assessment of that. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a pretty cool looking jersey myself. I'd wear it.
All right. Well, Benny's is saying Oilers hell to the no matter what they do around it. The logo sucks. And
first one we
Bryce is
disagree
saying, right. Bryce is saying love the uniforms. Bryce, feel free to throw out any ones that you really love. John's saying Oilers is awful. Symbol looks like a snot rocket.
Look out!
Wouldn't it have to be green though?
It's all right. But you know what? If they go back to the copper one, every time boogers have a strange consistency every now and again.
It's a very polarizing jersey. I like it.
Yep.
All right, then. So now we move on to the Jets. So this one, a bit of a shout out to the original Jets, which, I mean, that's no surprise. Of course, they're going to do a shout out to the original. How do you feel about the jersey itself? Like, I mean, the logo is a classic, of course. The striping, I get that it's kind of their current color scheme, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this jersey. Like, I don't think it's like the shittiest jersey in the world. I don't know. I feel like it's too kind of just bleh. It's just kind of there. You know what I mean? There's nothing that stands out about it.
I agree with that. It is kind of just blah. I mean, I love that original. Like the logo itself is dope. Everything else is just pretty standard. I mean, I don't hate it. I'm gonna go wear it. Like I wouldn't burn it, but it is kind of like a meh.
Yeah, I gotcha. Let's see. Benny's is saying he loves the Jets ones though, so he would wear that. Brad, how do you feel about this one?
I'd wear it. I think it's pretty cool looking.
Okay. Brian,
Yeah,
how
I
are
like
you
the
feeling about this?
I like the vintage look to it. Like it's traditional. It's traditional Winnipeg Jets, and it's got that vintage look with the new color scheme. I like it. I would definitely wear it.
All right then. So now we go on to the Tampa Bay Lightning, which I think this is pretty much just the white version of the jersey that they did the last time that we had this retro reverse, where you had the rain coming down over the Tampa logo. Or no, actually, it isn't exactly the way that they had it. But still, this jersey, of course, the original version of it was blue with white raindrops coming down. It had like the storm waves brewing at the bottom. You know, with the white on it, I'm not a fan of it. Like, if it was the blue background, yes, I would absolutely go with that. The original version of this jersey, yes. This version of it, nah. Like, to me, it's just kind of, white sky, clear day, and it's raining, and we got storm going down on the high seas. Come on. I don't like this one.
Yeah, it's just too much going on this one for me. I don't like it either. It's just way too much going on.
Yeah, to me, I'd burn it, man, because to me it looks like a soccer jersey, and fuck soccer.
Heard that.
Listen, I know there's some hard feelings because the U.S. lost to the Netherlands, but I mean,
Exactly.
we were playing.
I'm bitter.
We were playing the Netherlands, though, brother. Come on. The fact that we actually got a goal, we should be impressed with that.
True.
Yeah, and then
But I mean, this don't belong on the ice.
They answered it in 2 seconds. They said,
Yeah,
"Oh
they
yeah."
really did. They really did.
Yeah, well, I'm just more along the lines of just fuck soccer in general. So it has nothing to do with the fact that the men's team lost.
Let's see. Benny's saying Tampa Bay trash. Too busy. Burn it. John's
I'm with you.
John's saying, I think what is throwing off all the jerseys for me is that the models they hired look like they couldn't give a shit about hockey at all.
Exactly what I was thinking, because I'm going to jump ahead to Toronto. I'm burning it mostly because I want to smack the shit out of that model. Like, what are you looking at, bro? What are you looking at? I just want to smack the shit out of them. So fuck that jersey.
Exactly. It looks like shit anyway.
It's actually not a bad jersey. Fuck 'em.
Okay. Okay, so Rob and Brad are on the burn it side of it. I hate to agree, but I do. Not because of the model so much. I'll say this before I'll say it again. I do not like Toronto's logo. I know why they went back to it. I know why they went to that logo, because that was the logo when they were winning championships and everything. But I'll be honest with you, as shitty of an owner as Harold Ballard's era was, I actually preferred that Maple Leaf logo over this one. I just prefer that one. Maybe it's because it looks more like the one on the Canadian flag, and I feel like that's a better one. But anyway, so yeah, fuck this. I'm burning that jersey. Brian, how do you feel about Toronto's?
It's the Leafs, too.
Yeah.
I'd wear it. I like it. I like the white on the shoulders. I think that makes the jersey pop a little bit. I like it. I'd wear it.
Pumped out, Josh.
I love Betty's Nation. You know, it's like that because you diss soccer. Oh my god, that's funny. And then he also says burn the Maple Leafs, so he's not a fan of that jersey. Just saying, you can punch the Maple Leafs guy in his puffed out chest, he would start crying.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Ted's got some interesting news. Source confirms the Phillies are close to signing lefty reliever Matt Strahm to a 2-year deal for $15 million.
Sources. What sources do you have?
That's
How do you know?
right.
Maybe he's got an inside guy.
He is inside guy's Twitter.
My question is why?
John Clark, he says.
Yeah, it's
but
on base. It's on MLBTradeRumors.com, and they're pretty much right on the button. By the way, your boy Lugo looks like he's going to the Red Sox or Padres.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's what it looks like, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Uncle
Let's
Steve can
go.
always change that.
yeah, right.
Let's go, Max.
All right, then, gentlemen. So we go to the Anaheim Duckies, and yeah, so this one, I'll be honest with you, I still like this design, even if they have the modern colors. I'll wear it. Honestly, I don't really think that you can't really do this jersey wrong with the old style logo and everything. And fuck, it's the Mighty Ducks. You really can't do this wrong. Honestly, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Oh, what?
If you've seen some of the
You
custom
mean the one I'm
designs that I've
wearing
seen.
now?
Yes.
I kind of like it.
They did that wrong twice. But no, they did a good job on this one. I think they hit the nail right on the head on this one. Vintage look, going back to the glory days, mixed in with the modern. So I'm all about this one. Obviously, I would wear this one.
All right, then. So wear it for me and Bry. Rob, how you feeling on this one?
Yeah, I'd wear this definitely. I
All
again,
right,
I like
then.
the angular. I like the angular piping at the bottom too. See, I stray away from more of like the Jets and the Maple Leafs that are more the standard, like uniform. Some people like that, and that's why we're seeing mixed reviews there. But I've always liked the angles, especially around the cuff of the arm and the base of the jersey.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, then. Brad, how you feeling about the Ducks?
I like that jersey. I like
All
it. I've
right,
seen them
then,
wear
so-
the jersey. I've seen them wear the jersey in a game too, and it looks pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
All
another
right,
one.
then.
It's like the Calgary jersey where when it's all together, it looks
Yeah, it
really,
looks really
good.
good.
All right, then. So we're wear it all around here. Even Benny's on the wear it side of things right here, saying wear it. Love the Ducks sweater. Ted saying Buffalo should go back to their old logo. We'll put a thumbtack in that because we're about to talk about that in just a moment. John saying, I wish I could gift wrap the girl in the Ducks jersey under Brian's Christmas tree. Brian has a GF already, then a three-way is in store for my boy.
On fire!
Could definitely use that for Christmas. I'll tell you that. This is why I love Johnny. Always looking out for me.
Right. Let's see. Ted saying the Ducks should put their old colors on that jersey. They did. They did. Well, a few years ago. Isn't that their alternate right now?
They did a modern push on that one, the 25th anniversary jersey. Legally, they can't put their old colors on it because Disney still owns that jersey.
Really? Wow.
Ah,
Money grubbing motherfucker.
well.
But I mean, they did
There
a
you
tribute
go.
to that jersey a couple years ago, where they wore it like twice in the entire year. They wore the old eggplant one, but they had to jump through hoops just to get it for 2 games. They legally can't do it because Disney still owns the rights to those jerseys.
Right.
Well, fuck Disney. We'll just go with that. All right. On to Buffalo. So, yes, I remember this logo. I used to dread seeing this one when the Flyers would go up against it. But this one is the white jersey instead of the black version of the jersey. So, black, red, and silver. I will say that these jerseys were. I actually liked these ones. When Buffalo had these colors, I thought, you know what? I actually like this look. So I'm kind of fine with that. Not saying I would want to wear it, but yes. All right, I would.
All right, so this jersey I do thoroughly like. And the reason they didn't go with the black, red, and gray is because that's their alternate this year now.
Right.
They went with that
Okay, got
a
it.
couple weeks ago. I think was the first time they debuted it. But that's the reason why they didn't go with the original color scheme too. That's why they went with their current one. But I would absolutely in a heartbeat wear this jersey.
Yeah, I get this jersey, but I'd have to get it like a Shaitan jersey so it could have Satan on the back.
Good old Miroslav Satan.
Satan. I remember him. He was a good player too.
He was. I think he was Buffalo's best player too for a period of time, especially in this era. I think
that guy used to score 30 goals a season.
So Brett, would you wear this guy?
Yeah, I like it. I did see the whole. I saw the whole thing, and I didn't like the pants at all because they have yellow pants, which I didn't like that at all. That kind of disgusted me. But I like the shirt.
By the way, Benny's is on that side too. It says jersey's okay. Not a fan of it when they pair with the white pants.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, there's a lot of white going on there, but the jersey itself I love. And to the dude that are saying the Eagles are trash, yeah, real trash. 11-1, bro. 11-1. Sitting at the top of the NFL. 11-1.
Who's saying that?
Well,
no,
Cowboys hater.
Yeah, I don't even know how to say his name. I'm not even gonna try it. Jack Prescott's Jalen Hurts' daddy.
Nate Rosario or Nate Rosario.
How many playoff wins does Dak have? Just asking for a friend.
Maybe one.
I think he has. He has almost as many as Hurts.
And Hurts doesn't even have one.
Right. So it's. Dak may have one. I think he may have beat the Eagles one year a long time ago.
Yeah, I think he only has one. I don't think he even beat the Eagles. I think he wound up beating the Packers that year. I think that was the team he beat, and he lost to the. I think he lost to the Niners in the NFC Championship of that year.
Yeah, isn't that too bad?
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, they lost. I know they lost last year to the 49ers.
I know when the Eagles played the Cowboys earlier this year, they smoked them.
Yeah, I mean Dak.
Without Dak.
Doesn't everybody do a quarterback run with no timeouts?
Something like that.
In the playoffs, with 14 seconds to go.
It's fine. It's fine. We'll let him have his time. It's fine. They're playing good football right now, so I'll give the Cowboys that. They're playing good football.
Yeah, they are.
Benny's
it doesn't mean anything
if they're saying
if they lose to the Eagles, then all those other wins prove nothing.
Yeah. All right, Buffalo. Or Boston. Sorry.
Before we move on to Boston, Benny's saying Disney needs to let them have the D5 jersey, and then and then Ted also said, "Yeah, every playoff wasn't fun. Yeah, you saw that Buffalo logo, and you're just like, fuck. Why do we always have to fucking face them every goddamn year, every fucking year?" But anyway, let's see. Ted saying Hurts MVP, and then Benny saying he beat Seattle, and then Ted reinforced that. And all right, moving on. So to Boston we go. So this jersey, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this. I like the design of the jersey itself with the scratching at the bottom. I'm not a fan of the bear. The bear's not hostile. It's like, well, if the bear was like angry and swiping, okay, maybe I can get behind this.
He looks way too cute.
Right, right. It's like
a bear. Yes,
right.
He looks
it's
like
like
you could pet him.
Yeah, it's like he's like one of those circus bears that has the muzzle over the mouth, so you can actually touch him and pet him, and you don't have to worry about getting your hand bitten off or swiped off. It's like, and if it was the yellow version, which was the original version of this, the one that Ray Bork wore, it would be like a Winnie the Pooh kind of jersey going on here. So I mean, honestly, I'm burning this one.
Looks like Smokey, actually. I was gonna say Yogi.
Smokey.
Smokey. He looks like Smokey. I mean, come on. Is he going to put out a forest fire? Are you playing hockey or are you putting out forest fires? Come on now.
Right. So I'm burning this one.
I'll wear it. I love it. I think it looks great.
All right, then.
It's also a Boston jersey, which automatically, just because I'm a Yankee fan, it automatically gets burned.
To be honest with you, I'm not.
Even if it was nice, it'd get burned.
Right. To be honest with you, I don't even really give a shit about the Bruins. So you know what? I could care less. Burn that shit burn it real fast. Just burn them all. Kill it with fire.
Wow.
All right.
I mean, I could go with this. I could go with the Smokey the Bear comparisons. Only you can prevent forest fires. But to me, this logo would be much more interesting if it had the buckshot going through the top, like the Great Outdoors.
Yeah.
There you go.
Burn it.
All right,
I love
then.
that movie.
So Rob's on the burn it. I'm on the burn it. Brad's on the burn it. Brian is on the wear it. Benny's is saying, I actually like the Bruins jerseys. I know most don't. So he's on the wear it. Interesting. What did Ted say? I couldn't even tell it was a bear.
Looks like a big pile of shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you... Right, fuck Boston. Sometimes when you have a secondary logo, it's on the shoulder for a reason. It's not meant to be the main logo.
Yeah. Very true.
Ted saying he looks
like
he looks like Eeyore, the depressed donkey. Oh, that is fucking brilliant. Oh my god, that's great.
Time mark that 201. 201. That would make a fabulous YouTube.
Hey, boo boo. Good one, Benny.
Yeah, hey, boo boo, Betty's Nation. Oh my god.
They look like they're
Ted's like, burn them all. Great album. All great. Oh man, John's saying 5 of the final 7 jerseys on the top row look like you have to take off to eat.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my god! All right then, so on to our next one, Nashville. So this one, it's gonna sound kind of funny. I actually kind of like this one. I'm sorry, I might be on an island here, but I kind of dig this one. I like the logo. To be completely honest with you, I think the logo is what really sells this one for me. I know Nashville did have this logo and had a yellow jersey similar, but they took the silver out, which I think wasn't the worst decision in the world, to have the yellow and the blue instead of having the silver in there along with it. So, you know what? Yeah, I'll wear it. I'll dig this one.
I'll burn it. I'm burning it. I think it's disgusting. It's ugly.
I'll give you the yellow mustard.
So yellow jerseys in hockey are not acceptable.
Right. I can hear that. I mean, this mustard is a little off-putting, but for the logo itself, it's everything the Bruins logo is not. So by a slim margin, I'll wear it.
All right, then. So there we go. My brother standing beside me on that one. Both wearing it. Meanwhile, Brian and Brad are burning that shit.
Smashville. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Be catfish, people. All right, on to the St. Louis Blues. All right, so this is where I'll jump on the bandwagon on the yellow jerseys. I actually will burn this one. This one's stupid looking. It's kind of a play off of the Saskatoon Blues look slash the we changed it to St. Louis because they decided that they weren't going to get sold. So, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of this one. So burn it.
Yeah, burn it. It's just the logo to me. It just does nothing for me. It's not so much the colors; it's the logo that does nothing for me. I'm burning it.
Burn this motherfucker.
Yeah, burn it. It looks awful.
And Benny's on Blues. Burn that too. By the way, the haters saying that Cowboys going to beat Philly. And then John saying Arizona looks like a college NCAA jersey, suitable to wear while playing in front of 3,500 fans at home. It actually looks like early 90s ECW Taz before it was called Extreme. Love it. And Ted, no, the teams did not come up with these. I think they had some consulting with Adidas, but this was mostly an Adidas project for them. So
that orange one is hard.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That Arizona one, normally they hit a home run with their jerseys when they go to this design, but they fell flat on their fucking face. I'm burning the shit out of that one. Yeah.
Can you save it so you can wash your car with it?
Yeah, it looks like a shanty. It looks like a fucking shanty.
I mean,
I think you can wash your car with it.
Bring that shit out. It's fucking bone dry a second later.
Shine the car. After you wax it, you can use that to get the wax off.
Yeah. Just don't forget the turtle
I
wax.
always love the logo. If you're just going by the logo alone, I like the big blown up size of what do you call that, Maddie? You know the name of that. It's the figure that they use for their logo.
Oh, it's well, I don't think it has a name, but it's just the Chiquan coyote basically.
Right.
It's the Native American design to it. Yeah.
Right. I dig that aspect of it, but the coloration makes this dude look like Friar Tuck.
A little bit of breaking news here, boys.
Oh boy, what is it?
Shane Wright on December 5th finally pots his first goal in the NHL.
Wow. Well, yeah, I heard he got called up tonight. I heard he got called up for what, last night's game.
Yeah, he's playing tonight. He finally scored tonight against the Canadians. He was just on a conditioning loan down in the AHL, but December 5th, Shane Wright finally gets his first.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for him.
Mm-hmm. You're starting to see why he dropped to 4.
Yep.
5? 4 or 5? 5.
Bad attitude too, I heard.
Yeah, his attitude is not. It's been what it is.
Yeah, that's why he got sent down.
Didn't they have that red flag too before he got drafted as well?
Yes.
That's why he dropped.
He's the Josh Rosen of hockey.
That's funny.
Benny's Nation saying Arizona, burn that.
Burn it. Yeah, absolutely.
And Ted was asking that. And Benny's saying, nice callback, John. And then Ted was saying, you can wipe your brown eye with it too.
Oh.
And then John's
chocolate starfish.
John was saying the Arizona guy looks
like he's a man.
Very good Limp Bizkit album, by the way. John, by the way, is saying the Arizona guy looks like he needs Manscaped. Shit looks like a big muff bush. And it's a shame that that would have been a great segue. Damn. Oh man.
Oh yeah, looking at it closer, blown up on my screen, Maddie, you can see that there is like a little cacti and the mountains and the desert faded in, but you can barely see that in the dark brown that they use as the bottom layer. Like,
yeah, good marketing job, guys.
Right?
Right. And they had that solid green that also makes it camouflaged even more. So it's come on, guys, think. I understand when they did the blue one. Like, I get that. Night sky. Makes sense. I actually dig that one. This one, I don't know, like to try midday. No one likes midday in the desert. They prefer. So let's go on to Minnesota. Minnesota's, I kind of dig this one. This is a good ode to the North Stars. I see where this is going. I kind of like it because I'll be honest with you, I never thought the North Star should have never moved in the first place. So I feel like this is I kind of like it, honestly. Benny's already burning this one. He's not happy on that one. All right, gents, how about you?
Wear it.
Wear it? Okay.
Yeah, I'll wear it too. I like to throw it back to the North Stars. It's my favorite fantasy sport name of all time.
Right. Brad, how about you?
I like it. I used to have a Minnesota North Stars jersey. It was Dennis Extall, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah, well, it's because the Rangers traded him there, and I was always mad at them for doing that because him and Goldsworthy ended up being really good together. And of course, we got Goldsworthy back like 1,000 years after his prime, but whatever. That just
Ain't that how it always goes?
Yeah, well, that's Rangers for you. I like that jersey. It's very, very, very well done.
Gotcha. Ted saying the Arizona one looks like Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life if you close your eyes.
Oh boy! No.
Well done.
Nice.
Well done.
Oh boy, that was mean.
Oh, nice one, Ted. All right, on to the Dallas Stars. This one is also a bit of it's a throwback to their old style. Only difference is that it's the modern color scheme. It's kind of meh for me. Maybe it's because of the different It's because of the different color. Because they took the yellow out, they took the gold out. So I don't hate this jersey, but I wish it had the gold. I really do. I think that's what's killing it for me, at least the vibe wise. I don't know about you guys.
Never wear anything that has something to do with Dallas. Never ever. I don't care what it looks like. If it's Dallas, forget it.
Yeah.
Rob?
Yeah, I'd definitely wear it. I just love that era. Like, I think Mike Modano, you know what I mean? Like, when they first moved to Dallas and shit like that, you know, bringing in Brett Hull and shit like that. Like, I dig it. I can see your point taking away the gold, but I actually kind of like it better with the modern green versus that. It was more the green that you're speaking of was closer to the Minnesota Wild jersey.
Right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm with you, Rob. I like the chrome look instead of the gold look here. I would absolutely wear it. I think I've seen this jersey all together with the rest of the gear. It's a sharp-looking jersey. It's a sharp-looking uniform. I think Reebok. I think Adidas did a good job on this one.
All right. Then Stacy's saying Stars would actually wear it. Yeah. John.
But it's only going to be worn if it's a Jason Robertson jersey.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Talk about him in the
player.
shootout.
Johnson.
I got a real hot take on Jason Robertson later on in the show. So stick with us. I know we're going long. Stick with us.
See, John saying horse jockey 22. What the fuck is that next to the Stars jersey? Well, I'm happy you asked. Okay, so the Vancouver Canucks. This is a logo that is usually an alternate logo that they have. This one, you know, I'm back and forth on this one, you know? Like, it's not a terrible design. Logo's okay. But you know what? I'm going to say wear it. I'm going to wear it.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's wearing it. He's burning it. Why you burning it, Brian?
Look at it. It's a monstrosity. I don't even know where to go.
It's like standard, and then it gets real busy real quick.
I mean, it doesn't have as much going on like the Tampa Bay one does, but
True.
it's just no. No.
All right, then. Going on it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either. I'd burn it.
No.
Earn it.
All right, then.
I think I want to burn it basically just
Uh,
because of damn
bet.
Bindle, though.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Benny's Nation saying Canucks would start wear it. Okay. Let's see. Benny's saying Canucks is actually my favorite. Something about Johnny Canuck. That's right. That's the name of the guy. About Johnny Canuck with numbers just above it.
Johnny Canuck.
Let's see here. Seattle. Well, this isn't a retro jersey because Seattle doesn't have any retro jerseys. But in terms of just having an interesting out there kind of look, I'm not digging it. I'm actually not digging this one. I think it's a little too much for me. Yeah, I'm not digging this.
I think that's awful. And burn it.
Yeah, I didn't think you could get worse than the Detroit
All
one.
right, so I'm gonna burn it. Brad's on
That's
burn it.
bad. That's bad.
you
You can burn the Sharks jersey too. Oh my God, is that bad?
Yeah, we're getting into some real gems right on.
Oh, we'll
this
talk
end
about
of the
that.
aisle.
Yeah, absolutely, Robbie.
That Sharks jersey. Oh my God, that's brutal.
The
So, I
only
think we're
reason
all
why.
for-
Go ahead, Brady.
I was just saying, I think we're all four on the burn it. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely. And moving and jumping right to the Sharks because Brad brought it up. The only reason why I would wear the Sharks jersey is I'd be too afraid to run into someone wearing this Sharks jersey and fucking get lit up. Like this dude, this jersey looks straight up gangster. Like I'm about to get shot. You know what I mean? No, I'm just gonna wear it so I blend in.
Honestly, no, I'm burning that shit because why the fuck would you throw out a tribute to the California Golden Seals? One of the probably the shittiest ran organization in the history of the NHL. Fuck no. Fuck no. Fucking burn that shit. Why the fuck did you even talk about making that design? I'm offended. I am fucking offended you would even acknowledge the Seals. But anyway. All right. Bernie, Rob's on the burn. Well, he's on the wear it side for incognito reasons. And Bri, how do you feel?
I've seen this jersey on the ice. This thing is actually really, really sharp. I would wear it.
Yeah.
Okay. Brad.
Which one, the Sharks?
Yeah.
No, it's awful. That's terrible. That's
right.
God.
So burn.
I just, you know what? I really like the picture of the shark biting the hockey stick.
Right.
That's a perfect logo. Why would you ever change anything when it comes to that logo? Just keep the logo on there. If you can make any color you want, but leave the logo, please. You don't have to write that. That's terrible.
Just don't. Right.
Fun fact about that
you
logo.
don't need to acknowledge the Seals.
I mean, they look like the Oakland A's for crying out loud.
So a little fun fact about that logo.
If you wanted to get creative, you could kind of have the shark from like Jaws coming up and catching a hockey puck.
Yeah, there you go. That would
So
work.
instead of scoring, it's making a save.
Yeah, that would work. That would be good. I mean, they blew it with that. They had a chance to really have a good jersey, and that's what they come up with.
Well, they blew it with the rebrand too.
Yeah.
So, Brian, what were you going to say about that, the logo?
No, nothing. It's not that important.
All right. So, moving on. Let's see here. John saying the Sharks jersey is showing him seals, but this fucking jersey is the reason why the Sharks eat seals. And then Benny's Nation also saying Seattle. Hate the city, but love the jersey. So he actually likes the Seattle jersey. And
Love the debate.
Ted was saying super lazy Lazy along with Arrows players are wearing them, you might want to use a little imagination.
Yeah. There you go.
Paying respect to a team that was their jersey. How is that lazy? A team that played near San Jose. Again, how is that lazy? You're paying homage to another organization.
I just don't like the. I
get it. If you want to sit there and say you don't like the design, that's one thing. But you sit there and say that Adidas was lazy there, no.
Yeah, it's along the same lines as Montreal doing it for Quebec, right? They're doing it for the Seals, and the Seals not being around or a direct rival. I you know what I mean? I can see that both ways. There.
And then, of course, obviously Minnesota with the North Stars.
Let's move on to this gorgeous Carolina Hurricanes jersey.
All right, then.
I think it's pretty rad.
Yeah, so the Hurricanes now with the Canes. I dig this jersey. This is a nice looking jersey they got going on over here. I don't know why that model is so distracted by whatever the fuck's going on over there, whatever the hell he's looking at. But still, that Canes jersey that's staring at more. I'm digging that.
You know what that is, Maddie? That's the model utilizing Joey Tribbiani's "smell the fart" acting. Try to look off and look all chic like Model-esque.
He caught his reflection in the mirror out there. He's like, "Ooh, this jersey looks better in the mirror than it does on me."
He looks like he's kind of crop dusting. He does kind of look like that.
That wasn't me, guys. That wasn't me.
He's trying to throw the scent off. All right. So I think it's for the Hurricanes. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
All right. On to the Colorado Avalanche.
That's an old
actually
Colorado Rockies
really kind
jersey.
of the Blue Jackets jersey.
Isn't
I get it, but it feels like it's a ripoff of what the Blue Jackets have. I'm not digging that one. I'm not. And I get where the C comes from. It's not only does it kind of the old throwback to the Rockies, but
that's what
it's also on the state flag too, the C. I'm not digging this one. Maybe it's because I'm too much of a fan of the Avalanche jersey, because the one they have now is like, okay, that one's like your ideal jersey. But I'm not a huge fan of this one.
I'd wear
it. Let's see what Rob's laughing at. And he's saying, I would say the guy wearing the Colorado jersey, and the guy in the Canes jersey is just looking like, not me.
Wasn't me. I do like, to Brad's point, I do like the throwback to the Colorado Rockies, because at least that's a state, correlation there. Not the same organization, but still paying homage to that. Again, a la like the Sharks and the Habs, right? To me, I agree with you, Maddie. It's a slight ripoff of the Blue Jackets, and it's also it almost looks like the Florida Panthers colors too, and not like utilizing their own very well.
Right.
So I'll burn it.
Right. Yeah, I'm on the burn it side. Bry's on the wear it. Brad, how do you feel?
Burn it. I just don't like the
Burn
jersey.
it. All right then. So, John saying, "Oh, gets me laughing so hard, I might just choke on that."
Appreciate you. The comment he put before that, where the Blackhawks jersey looks like Red Wings on steroids, is like 1,000% accurate. 1,000%.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is.
And I think that's a good segue into this one. So Blackhawks jersey, I'm not even going to you want to know what a fart looks like on a jersey? That's what that fart looks like in jersey form.
Right there.
If I've ever seen one. Fuck that jersey. Fuck that one too.
That's awful.
Fuck both those jerseys.
Yeah, they're both awful. that you can put them in the
All right,
ugly
then. So
sweater.
I'm on the
closet.
burn it. Brad's on the burn it. Rob. Right. Rob, you on the burn it for the for that Chicago jersey? Yeah, that's what I thought. Bry.
Burn it.
Burn it. All right. So Chicago burned it all around. By the way, Ted had this question for you. He says, does Jessica think Nike put a lot of work into Arizona and Dallas's jersey?
Well, considering Nike doesn't do the jerseys, no, the Nike didn't put any effort into this. It's Adidas. Adidas owns the jersey rights, not Nike. So no, Nike did nothing with these jerseys. Hence that logo up there in that corner.
Yeah, Don Shane Wright gets his first goal against the Habs, and sorry about your team front jersey there. Adidas. Actually, I'll correct myself. All right, moving on. We have the Washington Capitals, and yeah, I dig this one. I loved this version of the Capitals jerseys. I actually got one of those, just not with the Capitals written across it. But I wish the Caps still had that design. I mean, you can, if you want to switch the colors to the red, white, and blue, okay, that's fine. You can switch it to the red, white, and blue. You have to go bronze and the teal, but still, I dig that jersey. I dig that version.
Capitals I'd wear. I really like the Capitals jersey. I like the homage paid to those jerseys from the 90s and 2000s. I really love the eagle going across the chest there. That's like when I think Washington Capitals and my time frame of being a hockey fan, this is what I think of.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely good angles. You gotta love the hawk coming in. I mean, the eagle coming in, fucking with the talons flaring. It's intimidating, and I like the color scheme almost better than the original too. Like mostly a dark jersey.
Yeah, I like it too.
Right.
Really good. Really good. They did a nice job with that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're all on the wear it side. Then he's saying can't wear cap shit. So he's on the burn it side just because. But let's see here. Ted saying, make sure Jessica knows she put me in my place. I love it now. And then
Ted's a fucking asshat anyway, so I don't care.
Then Don saying and Don saying, God, what does this A2D mean, girls? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. All right, Rangers. Statue of Liberty logo with the current color scheme instead of having the dark blue like when they originally had this logo or when they put that on their third jersey. This jersey actually isn't that bad looking. Actually a pretty cool jersey. I like it. I actually like this jersey. And I actually like that logo, to be honest with you. If the Rangers were to ever change their logo, which I don't think they should, because that logo is absolutely spectacular.
Oh, the shield.
But
yeah, they're not going to change that.
But if they ever changed it to the statue, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Right.
I like that jersey. I think it looks great. I think they did a real nice job with that.
Yeah, I agree. I was always a fan of that logo for the blue shirts there. You know what I mean? Statue of Liberty. It's like it's always been great design. But for me, I like right at the elbow, that piping right there, separating the blue and the red with the solid blue stripe in between. That's a really good design.
It looks great with the red pants too, by the way.
Right. Does it? Yeah, they wear I was gonna say, which teams wear the pants in their warm-ups? I know obviously Flyers being one of them, Rangers too.
Rangers do too. They always wear their red pants.
Right. And then there was another team that you were saying that had the yellow pants that you weren't a fan of.
Buffalo.
They also Buffalo. That's what it was.
They're
right.
bad.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, they wear that during the warm-up, and then it's the all white look.
Right.
Yeah, I like the shirt, but the pants, no.
Right. Yeah. But nah, man. What's your take, Brian, on this one?
Brian.
It looks a little too much like the one they did last year. I think it's just a lighter blue, but I think this lighter blue works a lot better than the one they had last year. So I'm for it. I'd wear it.
That's a great point.
Benny hated it.
Nice little throwback to a living color. Fucking love it. Love it.
Oh my God.
And John's saying Rangers jersey looks like it has blue balls. And Ted saying that Rangers one was lame and the Rangers aligned like the USA jerseys are best. All right then.
Yeah, but they have
this
to
is
change-
this is the very patriotic
Onto
corner of
the-
this graph here. This is the very patriotic corner of this graph here.
Yes.
Right, with the teams of Capitals, Rangers, Blue Jackets. Okay,
Right.
on to them. Blue Jackets. I do not like this jersey at all. Like, this is a black. Like, why? Like, sorry, the Blue Jackets logo doesn't go well with it, in my opinion. And I'm not a big fan of the striping either. It's like, where's the red? Shouldn't the red be separating the black from that light blue? I'm not digging this one. I'm not. And, you could have done something with the cuff. You could have put a star or something there, like they did back in the day with like a little bit of red on it. They didn't even do that. It's like they got kind of, to me, I feel like this was a bad jersey. This was a lazy jersey, in my opinion. I don't like this one.
Well, they couldn't do red because they did red last year. So you're kind of working with.
That's a good point.
You can't do white because you actually have the road jersey. So you're kind of running out of choices on colors here when you only have 3 primary colors. And the thing for me here is I actually kind of like it. I didn't like it at first until I actually watched Columbus playing them. And seeing everything all together, it actually really changed my opinion on this jersey. I would absolutely wear it.
Yeah, I'd wear it too because I like that light blue, that sort of like dark powder blue that's on the shoulders running down the sleeves. Big fan of that, and Brian, I've seen them playing this too, and it does play really well. But the model really looks pissed, like she got picked for the Columbus Blue Jackets one. She just looking like off the list. This is like, come on, man. So I don't know. I'm wearing it, but by a thread.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Robbie, but don't they have the red on the outside of the letterings and the numbers?
I think so. I think you're right. I think
that's
you're right.
why
That's where it
they
pops
do.
on the back. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think a commentator was saying that it was so easy to see their names and their numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say this though, that model looks like about as excited as when Eric Lindros got drafted by the Quebec Nordique. So
Right?
I think that one looks good, actually. I like that Blue Jacket jersey.
All right then. So that's fine. That is fun.
I'd
And
wear it.
then Ted saying, you guys should do a montage of Brian trying on all the jerseys and said, we had the budget. We would do something like that, but we do not have that kind of budget, unfortunately.
Sorry, Ted's fan.
Let's see. Yeah. All right. So Ottawa's jersey, where I'm probably going to be on an island, but I do love the design that Ottawa had back in the day, and I am a fan of their old logo. I really like the team that Danny Alfson rest. That was a spectacular team. Shame they never won anything, but I'm wearing one.
I'd burn this one. I don't like it.
I'm gonna wear it. I like the Roman Emperor look. You know what I mean? The soldier. You know what I mean? The Roman soldier, I should say. And I like the also again the angular lines around the elbows going through the logo too itself and at the base of it. I rock it.
Can't stand the Ottawa Senators. I never wear one of their jerseys. Just can't stand that team. You could blame Chris Neal.
So
Biggest douchebag player I've ever seen in my life.
I'm getting it for Claude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. Anything
I will
Ottawa
say,
goes
though,
straight into the fireplace.
I will say, though, I do like the fact that I remember they did play the Flyers with these jerseys on, and I think they do look good on the ice when they have them. But, okay, so Brad's on the Burn It, Bry's on the Burn It, I'm on the Wear It, and so is Rob. And what is his name? Roman Soldier, a.k.a. Roman Helmet. And then basically say, can't like anything with a Trojan War helmet. Okay, then.
Oh, boy.
And we move on to Vegas. This jersey, I actually dig it. I don't mind this. I don't hate this jersey. Honestly, Vegas written down, I don't mind it. I mean, it's better than the fucking gold jersey that they have. I think that thing is ugly as sin. It's like, yeah, let's make that shiny ass gold the main color, and let's wear gold helmets that are chrome colored too. Like, yeah, thanks guys. That's not blindingly loud at all. Yeah, I actually like this one. Maybe because green's the main focus here, and the Vegas logo's got the gold and the white. I kind of like that. So yeah, I'm wearing it.
This jersey to me is unique. I'd burn it for this aspect alone. The lettering glows in the dark.
Oh, I did not know that.
The lettering glows in the dark. If they didn't do that, it would be okay. But the lettering glows in the dark. I'm burning it for that aspect.
God.
Shut the front door.
Swear to God.
That's fucking burn it. Burn it.
Burn it.
I was gonna say wear it because it's like Vegas, baby. You know what I mean? Rock that shit out. Nah, dude.
The
That
design's
gold on
good.
the bottom is terrible.
Well, the
Oh, my
design's
God.
good. I like the color scheme they used. I like the design they went with. The printing on Vegas and the lettering they went with. It all works really well. You lost me when you said it glows in the dark, and it does glow in the dark.
They did it for the clubs, for the black lights in the clubs. That's what they did it for.
Right.
Well, they did it for the black lights in the arena.
Yeah, true that too.
Yeah.
Like it's cool. Like it's cool. They're doing
But
this
I
whole
think
show theme, but come on, like really.
I mean, honestly, I'd wear it to the club. I'll wear that shit to the club. I don't give a fuck. Put the glow sticks on and let's fucking go.
It's like the one. It's like the Dallas Stars jersey they have. That was the neon green. No, I'm good.
All right, then. So I'm on the wear it. I think everybody's on the burn it side here. Let's see here. Ted was saying Sens helpless, but still have the 6th pick, which is always nice to have. Ted's also saying, looks like Vegas is ripping off your Rangers jerseys, Brad.
Oh no. The Rangers don't.
Here.
The Rangers have nice red lettering across, and it's not fancy and disgusting like that. That jersey is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. That filthy ass rag with gold underneath.
Now-
My God, this is hockey. The hell? I mean, what kind of a freaking? Oh, I can't say all the stuff I want to say about that jersey. I'll get kicked off the radio, but that jersey is just.
If the other jersey washed the car, this jersey washes the tires.
Yeah, hell, God. This is the jersey the janitor at school wears. It has to clean up the vomit when the kids throw up in the hall.
I like John's comment on this.
Oh,
That's how
my
bad
God.
that jersey is.
That's a good one, Brad. John saying Squirrels and the Darby Burgers would rock that shit. I hate the T-Mobile arena. Oh, God. Oh, man. Ted's got this right, though. Brad, you are on fire tonight, brother. Oh, man. And the fucking fam is on fire tonight. Holy shit. Let's see here.
I could see.
Okay,
guys on
Pittsburgh,
Modern
hello.
Family wearing that jersey.
Oh, Cam and what's
Yeah.
what's the other one's name? Shit.
I can't remember.
But I know
you
you're
what I'm
talking about.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me they wouldn't.
To be fair, we're the better of that show. So,
Yeah.
but they would. I'm not saying they would.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Oh, let's see. John's like the Vegas jersey forgotten and end because only weird vegans would rock that awful shit. Oh man. All right, so on to Pittsburgh, the western half of the Keystone State. The 90s logo from Pittsburgh, black with the yellow light.
I always like that jersey.
This jersey isn't all that bad, but I will say the one thing I don't like about it is, this is weird. I'm not a fan of the yellow stripe at the shoulders. If it had been white and it had the black and then the yellow, I probably wouldn't be all that bothered by it. For some reason, though, that yellow at the shoulders just bugs the shit out of me. I don't know why. But you know what? No, I'm throwing that I'm burning that shit. So, and I will say, Adidas, you did resist the temptation of making an all-yellow sci-fi Penguins jersey. I was worried they were going to do that. They did not do that, so I will give you credit for that one. But anyway, take it away, gentlemen. Burn it or wear it.
It's Schittsburg. I can't wear anything from Schittsburg. Burn it.
Right.
I'd rock that shit. I would rock that jersey. I would absolutely rock that jersey. I love that jersey. It's probably my favorite of all of them, to be completely honest with you. The jersey is so sharp. It's so clean. There's really no flaws in this jersey at all.
All right. Brad, how you feeling?
I'd wear it. Except I would say this though about the Penguins. My favorite Penguin jersey was the old outer blue one with the picture of the Penguin in the middle.
Oh, the one they wore in the first Winter Classic.
Where they had Still Apps and Lowell McDonald and John Pronovo.
Oh yeah, I know what jersey you're talking about.
Yeah. The one. I think it had black. It was like light blue and it had black trim. That was a sharp jersey.
Yeah.
They should have gone with that one. But I mean, I like that one too. That's not bad. I'd wear it.
Ducks just got away with a penalty there.
All right then. So wear it for Brad. Wear it for Bri. I'm burning it. Rob's burning it. John's saying Penguins jersey looks like he's going to get a Snoop Dogg murder charge. Damn.
Murder was the case that they gave me.
Oh, nice. All right. On to the Flyers jersey. I'm burning the shit out of this one. Thank you, Adidas. You fucked me twice. Fuck you, Adidas.
What?
All right, guys, take it away.
What?
I hate this jersey. It looks like shit. I hate this jersey. I hate it. This is an ugly fucking jersey.
I like it. I would wear that jersey. I'd get an old school name on it, and I would rock it.
The only criticism I have for this jersey, just to get your back, Maddie, right, is that the numbers on the back are horrible, and the nameplate too. And as equally good as that other jersey was for the broadcasters, this one is horrible for the broadcasters. I feel bad for them. But other than that, I like it so much better than this version of the retro jersey from last year that I dubbed the candy corn version. I think this was because if I got out my old Richie jersey, right, and this is the complete. If you wanted to do a negative of that jersey, it would look like that jersey because at the base it was black, right by the numbers, right, was orange, and all the white is black. So it was like if you're talking about reverse retro, I think you nailed it, and I think this is one team that actually looks good with the pants too.
Yeah, it's the only team that I think has the Cooperalls.
Cooperalls. Oh, I thought, but weren't we talking about the Sabres and the other team were too, or no? They just have pants, not Cooperalls.
I'm not sure, honestly.
I I never knew.
Oh,
I never knew much
they're-
about that.
No.
Well, they're not. They weren't wearing the Cooperalls during the game. You can't wear Cooperalls.
No,
Actually,
it
the
was
NHL
warm
banned
up.
them. Right.
Right.
You're right, Rob. Yeah.
Warm up. Yeah. Yeah. But, anyway,
But I will
would-
say, no
I-
team ever looked good wearing Cooperalls.
Yeah, truth. Yeah, I get this jersey with a Connor Bedard pre-printed.
I mean, it's gonna look a little silly when he's wearing an Anaheim jersey come next year.
Or Blackhawks, because they're tanking it hard. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Coyotes.
No.
I know Coyotes are looking better. Every team's
What did
looking better
Bedard
than
do to
them
deserve
right
that? Oh my God! What did poor
That would
Connor
be a-
Bedard
that would-
do to deserve that?
That would be a replay of the Lindros thing. He would fucking hold out until the Arizona Coyotes traded him.
Yeah, but then they probably get like 3 picks though.
Come in and take him. Hey, listen, if the Flyers are trading for him, though, the Flyers will give you a king's ransom. They gave a king's ransom for Lindros. So, you know.
Yeah, they should have stopped with Forsberg.
Right.
I mean, they shouldn't have even included Forsberg, but whatever. I like that jersey, guys. I think it's pretty sharp.
All right, then. Yeah, I'm probably going to be one Flower who hates both of those retro reverse jerseys, but I absolutely do.
The P pops.
See,
The P
John
pops.
saying I hate the fly.
Yeah, it does.
Make
No.
a good hoodie.
I'm not digging it. I am not digging it. He's saying I hate the Flyers jersey. It looks like he would make a decent hoodie though. That's actually kind of funny. Let's see. Ted saying Blackhawks traded all their players at the draft.
It actually reminds me of a white.
John
of an
saying the
all-white-
Devils and the Islanders model. No, Rob, you go ahead. You finish it up.
I was gonna say it reminds me of an old white Flyer starter jersey, puffy jacket I used to have back in the day. You know what I mean? Kind of the opposite of the one that they passed around. So I dig that. Yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to jump in there.
Nice. No, you're fine, brother. So the devil, John said the Devils and the Islanders models look like human Pez dispensers. And then Ed's saying we'll have Bedard and Hart with a bunch of goons. But all right, so let's jump into the Kings jersey here. This is old style Kings jersey from back in the 70s. But they did not use yellow for the main logo here, or purple. They decided to roll with white. Honestly, I actually kind of like this jersey. Yeah. You know, it's not yellow and it's not purple. It's actually, you know what? Those are, if the Kings, which they never will, they will never do this. If the Kings ever went back to those colors, if you did, say, purple for the home and then you did white here for the away, that would probably be the most ideal look for the Kings if they ever went back to those colors. They never will. I will never see a day they'll never do that again. But yeah, this isn't a bad jersey.
No, this jersey to me is the epitome of reverse retro. It's exactly everything that you want it to be. It's a retro jersey, and they reverse a lot of the colors on it. Because if you look at it,
yeah,
the stripe on it was the only white part of the jersey, whether it was the road or the home jersey. Because it was either
right
going to be all yellow or all purple. This is
right.
exactly what you think of when you think retro jersey. It's a jersey they wore in the 70s, and they reversed the colors on it. So good job by the Kings. I think this is a great jersey. I would burn it, but it's still a great jersey.
I like that. I like that reversal. That was a nice twist at the end there, Brian. Me, a la the Sharks jersey, I'm wearing it because I'm again afraid of getting shot.
Okay. And Brad?
I like that jersey. To be honest with you, it kind of makes me remember the days of Marcel Dion and Simmer and Dave Taylor. That's when that jersey. That's
Right.
when they were wearing those type of jerseys, and that it just brings back very fun memories. I think that was what's the name of that line? The Century line. What was the name of that line? I can't remember the name of that line, but that jersey just reminds me of Marcel Dion, and he was one of my favorite players.
Nice.
You know, when he played with the Kings,
Right.
with the Red Wings, and then the Rangers got him.
Yeah.
Of course, like when he was 107 years old and past his prime, it's like they always do.
In like
Yeah.
in like I think it was the mid '80s, right, when they got him.
Yeah, he was decrepit by then, but just the same. I always liked his game, and I always liked Marcel Dion. He's kind of an underrated superstar.
Right.
So I like.
So yeah, and of course, good old Rogie Vachon was their goaltender too at the time.
Yeah,
But all right, so on to our final two here. So starting it off, we have the New Jersey Devils, who were throwing an homage to the Colorado Rockies / Kansas City Scouts colors that the organization had before they moved to New Jersey, and had green and red before red and black. Honestly, I never thought I'd say this, but this is actually not a bad-looking jersey, honestly. But the weird part is that it's the Devils. If this was the Scouts, I would be like, okay, this is actually really good, but it's because it's the Devils that throws it off. You know what I mean? That's what throws it off for me. But the jersey itself is nice. If it wasn't the Devils, I wouldn't really shake two shits at it, but it's the Devils. So, yeah, I'm going to have to throw it away.
You made me fucking nervous. You made me fucking nervous there, Maddie.
Wrong logo.
You made me nervous there, Maddie. I thought you were gonna say Mara.
I know.
I was like, oh, you motherfucker, you.
I know. No. I haven't lost my mind completely. But yeah, this is fine as a design. It's just the logo is what kills it for me. If they had decided to say, you know what, just because we're doing a full-on homage, let's throw the Scouts logo on there. It's not the Scouts, but why the fuck not? Who the fuck else is going to rock a Kansas City Scouts jersey? There's never going to be a Kansas City team in the NHL. So there you go. Might as well. Anyway, go on, guys. Wear it or burn it.
Burn it. The Devils, burn it.
Burn it. All right, because
I'd wear
the Devils, understandable. Brian will wear it. Okay.
I just like the color scheme on it.
I thought you'd say that, Brian.
It is a nice color.
It is. When we played them recently, I was like, that is a sharp looking jersey. Like the NJ does really pop out really well. But I would wear the Penguins jersey before I wore this jersey. You know that, Maddie. I fucking hate the Devils. Like I hate the Devils as much as Brad hates the Islanders. All right, let's just say that right now.
Yes, fuck the Devils.
But
fuck you guys. You ruined everything.
Colossal. Let me give just to be down bipartisan. Light years better than last year with the jersey. Remember, and then it had the little lines representing the counties.
Right.
Oh no, that's their alternate. That wasn't their reverse. That's their alternate. They actually.
That's their alternate. Yeah, that one's garbage.
Still an ugly jersey, though. Still ugly.
No, I totally agree.
I thought they brought that out as their retro and then made it their alternate.
No,
but that's been their alternate for a while.
Yeah, I think their retro last year, I think, was the green. It's similar jersey design, but the body was green and the rest was red and white. So they kind of made the big deal about it being the Christmas jersey. You know what I mean?
Oh, right. Gotcha.
So really, the Devils had just been paying the homage to their original colors, and then they paid an even further homage to the two really poorly ran organizations that came before the Devils. So there you go.
The Scouts and the Rockies, right.
But again, like what the Kings did this year, last year's Devils jersey was, again, epitome to what the retro jerseys are supposed to be.
Right. Okay, so we are down to the final jersey, and it is the New York Islanders. I think we kind of saved the best for last year, gentlemen, because boy, did this fucking logo. Let me just say, there are very few logos that have quite as much of history as this one does, because when this logo hit the scene, wow, did it send shockwaves down the league's spine. You either kind of dug it, or you were 99.9% of the league and you fucking hated this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fisherman logo returning with authority here with the Islanders logo and with that with the piping sort of kind of like that sort of water-like kind of piping they had going on there. Do you think that they made this design better with the Fisherman jersey, or do you still think this is the shittiest jersey you've ever seen a day in your life? Gentlemen, take it away.
Matty, you're gonna hate me.
Pathetic.
I love it. I don't like it as much as the original,
So,
but I love it. I love that logo's back. I think it was a great logo. It's a logo I grew up seeing and with the New York Islanders. So to me, that's New York Islanders hockey. Obviously, the piping's a little bit different from their jersey that they had back in '97, but all in all, the jersey itself, I think they could have done a little bit more work with, but I love that they brought back the Fisherman logo. I love it. Motherfucker, hold a lead.
Oh, shit.
Oh boy.
What's the score there?
3-3.
all right,
I'm gonna
Brad's
go with
aware.
burn. Yeah, I'm gonna burn it by a small degree, though. I actually like the coloration better than the original. I like it where it's like the darker blue and the darker orange. You know what I mean? It looks a little bit less like going to like what was that restaurant? John Hancock's seafood restaurant down fucking in down the Jersey Shore and shit. Fucking but again, like. I don't know, like I like it for the aspects of the angular piping again. Like I said, that's been a common theme for me. But fuck the Islanders.
All right, so Rob is saying burn it, right? Yeah. So
by a smidge.
By a cunt hair. Gotcha.
Yes.
And Brad, I think I already know your answer, but go ahead.
Okay, well, let me start with this, okay? What they should have done was get a picture of Mrs. Paul and put little fish sticks all over the jersey. Okay, and then dip it in a little maple syrup, and then you throw it in the water so a shark can eat it. And then after the shark eats it, burn both the shark and the jersey at the same time.
Oh, that's freaking funny. So burn it. Okay, so this is gonna be kind of funny.
I would prefer that it had number 5 on the back.
Okay, so Ted's saying, okay, if it were a minor league and not in the NHL, Isles who beat us in the playoffs, would you like it?
No.
I'm not so sure, but so my opinion on this, yeah, I'm gonna say wear it, but I have a reasoning behind this. The reasoning behind it is when they wore this jersey, they were fucking dog shit. They were horrible as a team.
Yes.
Last place in the fucking division, where they fucking belong. So you know what? Wear it. Why? Because I want you to be fucking shit. That's why. Go back to last place and never fucking come back. Please go away.
They look like, I'll tell you what, they look like that tonight against St. Louis. By the way, the Rangers destroyed St. Louis the other night.
Oh, so
I think
yes.
you guys,
so
I think you
all
guys
I'm saying is
St. Louis too, right?
yes, we smoked St. Louis when they came to Philly, and that was
Too
one of
bad,
the nights they
Islanders.
were wearing their retro reverse. As a matter of fact. All right. So the care of that. That's our retro reverse, and whew, that was fun. That was a little long, but it was fun. I think it's time we got ourselves into the third period here and got through this quickly here. Wrap this
Would you say that, Brock?
bad up. Yeah, had a lot of fun. And by the way, fam, you fucking killed it during that.
Funniest comment ever.
Right then. So let's go to our third period. Right. Third period time. FanUp. The best way to enjoy fantasy sports. Test, win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code HGT for 5,000 bonus points, which is a $50 value. And all you got to do is go to fanup.app, get it, and start throwing a little money down on that fantasy team. Got for fantasy sports right here. And good old Rob Povia, who, he knows what he's from. Plus, you get Willie Vegas, Money Pot. You got 3 major sources here. 3. Take advantage of them, people.
I don't know, Maddie. I don't know if I confront those claims anymore. I got my ass handed to me in DFS this weekend. Oh, it was tragic. I had a lot of fucking Chargers Raiders stacks, game stacks with Kelsey, and Kelsey fucking disappointed. Whenever you pay up for Kelsey and he disappoints, it's like burning money. It's like fun coupons. Just fucking burn it. All right, I'm sorry. I'm whining there. All right, let's roll. Sorry.
All right, so on to the third period around the league. Gentlemen, any major topics you want to throw out there for the rest of us to talk about?
I mean, we talked about Nate McKinnon before. That's all I had. That Emily Kaplan was the first to report that he could miss up to approximately 4 weeks. It was, Brad, right? A month with an upper body injury.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
4 weeks. That's a long time.
Right. Key time.
Oh, we do have one thing we could talk about briefly. Well, it's actually a couple things. So Mitch Marner did extend his point streak tonight, and that's up to 20, which puts him in first in franchise history for point streak with Toronto.
Nice.
And J-Rob was unable to continue his point streak, so his streak is snapped tonight as the Stars were shut out tonight 4-0, I think it was.
Who did they play?
No, we haven't heard from Priz. He's like, fuck this noise. I'm going to sleep.
He's out. He's
Yeah.
He's out cold.
He probably, I don't know if he was watching us on a laptop or on his phone, but whatever one, he was probably having it either in his hand or in his lap, and it probably fell out of the lap or hand because he was out cold. Let's see here.
And then Shane Wright's first NHL goal. That's pretty much everything that I know of off the top of my head.
Nice.
Right. Ted saying, is Binnington the first goon goalie? No, he is not the first goon goalie. There have been plenty of goon goalies before him.
Oh, God. Yeah.
He's not even a goon.
Axel,
He's just
Ray Emery, Billy Smith.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even a goon.
Billy
He's
Smith.
just a hothead.
Yeah.
He's a sociopath.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, though, to be fair, only ever to handily fuck his team out of a series since he called out Nazem Kadri as a goon, and then Kadri decided to put a 3-spot on his ass. Like, well, that's your fault. Ain't nobody to blame for that failure but you there, boy. Nice job. Nice job.
Yeah, he was getting into it with Jason
All right,
Zucker,
so
the
let's
Pittsburgh
see here.
Penguins not that long ago.
Of
Cheap
course
shot
he
at him in the
was.
face. And then he proceeded to take his helmet off and start chirping the bench.
Of course. Oh. So let's see here. Ted saying, we beat St. Louis, then we went on a 10-game losing streak. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You're still not as bad as Anaheim.
The segment, boys. All right, shootout segment time brought to you by Alonzi Travel, specializing in creating the vacation of your dreams at Universal or wherever your heart calls you. Let their talented team of travel experts create a custom vacation for you. Every once in a while, life is just beating your ass down, and you know what? You need to get away. It's with family, just you and a significant other, friends, or just yourself. Maybe you just need a break. Let them take care of it. Let them do all of the headache work, all the paperwork, get all that crap taken care of. You could just relax and plan your getaway and go into the attractions without the hassle. So there you go, Alonzi Travel. All right then. Jets shootout start off with most devastating injury for the Flyers right now. Who is the guy?
Oh, for me, it's Sean Couturier, hands down. You know, this is a guy that people think could be the next captain for this organization. He's a 200-foot player, can play both offensively, defensively. He's very important when it comes to faceoffs. He can win them, most of them, and he can shut down the opposing center. So, to me, right now, he's one of your bigger leaders on the ice and off it. And right now, not having Couturier, 30-goal scorer, one of the better defensive centermen in the game, former Selke winner. Sean Couturier for me.
Right.
Yeah, it's got to be Coots. It's got to be Coots, right? I mean, you just hope he can get back out on the ice at this point. You know, to be honest, I mean, Wade Allison, like I said earlier, his oblique and hip pointer has been a low-key devastating injury as he was really playing well, and you really want these guys to be gelling at this point. But the good news is luckily he should be back soon. We talked about Cam Atkinson should be back soon. JVR should be back soon as well. All estimated to be back within the next calendar week. December 15th, the latest estimated. So helps on the way for this team to get a little healthier.
Yeah, I would say Cam Atkinson, guys. I just think you really miss him. He's a guy who can put the puck in the net, and that's been a problem all season with the Flyers. So he'd be the guy I would say. I mean, I hear you with Couturier, and I can respect that. He's a big time player, but you guys need somebody to put the puck in the net right now, and it's just not happening.
Yeah,
he's a guy that can help with that.
yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong with either answer there.
Agree. No, you can't. Ted saying, do you mean guys on the IR or players to come back? If it's an injury that is currently hurting the team, it counts.
Yes, see, making a point that we made earlier that this team has been playing, you know, shorthanded and even more shorthanded, you know, so there's reasoning for a team that all of a sudden was one of the you know, surprise in the first month of the season to back down to where they should be.
Oh, absolutely. Injuries caused that losing streak. I mean, There's no question about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so now we move on to the next one. Is John Tortorella still right for this team?
Oh, yeah. I absolutely believe that. I still believe he's the right guy for this team. You can see it in the play of Travis Konechny and Provorov. You know, they're playing with a little bit more fire underneath their butt. They're making better decisions with the puck. You're starting to see Chike really start to fall back into form from his first couple of seasons with the Flyers. You know, he just knows how to bring the best out of players, and he utilized their specific skill set. So I absolutely believe he's still the guy for this job. They just need to give him some players with some talent.
Your team's going to be fine with Tortorella. Just give him time. That's all you got to do. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He's never, other than with Vancouver, because they didn't even give him a chance. But I mean, you give him some players, and he'll get the best out of them, and he'll make them all tough to play against, and be good defensively.
All right, then. Robbie, how you feeling on it?
You know, to quote the man himself. This is a dumb question. I'm not answering that.
He used to say that all the time in New York.
Yeah. Oh, I love it when he said, he goes, he goes, come on, guys, are we going to ask? We're done here. All right, goodbye.
That's a stupid question. And then he puts
Yeah.
the microphone down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that the other night, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
I think he went off on Marcus Hayes.
Yeah. Yeah. But Maddie, I think 100% yes, man. He's attacking this team. He's just like that gritty coach. The more I see him operate, the more it's like I'm reliving Mike Keenan. They're like they were separated at birth, and they focus on the same elements of the game and building that that 60-minute energy, and that's been missing in Philadelphia for a while. So he reminds me at this point now that he's much older too. Like he's just like a hockey professor wearing those sweater vests. Like he's a well-educated man. He can recognize immediately what's wrong and address it in practice that next day. So I honestly and Brad made this point earlier in the show that as long as you go with Torts, him and Fletcher are kind of together, because if you get a new GM, he's going to want to bring in his guy, and I think the success of Torts is going to keep Fletcher in the job. So I could see him making this team a contender.
No, and to build off of what you just said here, Robbie, you're looking at, even through that 10-game losing streak, the effort that this team put into it was there. They just couldn't figure out ways to score. They found a couple of ways to lose, but they couldn't find ways to win. But
sure,
the effort was always there. And that's been a huge difference between last year's team and this year's team. Is despite the fact that they're losing, you see guys on the forecheck, you see guys winning puck battles in the corners, you see guys trying to put plays together. Maybe sometimes they're being a little too flashy with it, and they take an extra pass or two, but I think the effort that this team is putting out this year is way different from last year. And judging whether or not Fletcher's here next year or not I don't think it's going to be a reflection of Tortorella. I think Torts is here. So no matter who they bring in, maybe they bring in a guy that Torts wants and is willing to work with him and give him the talent that he needs. So you never know.
Yeah. Sure.
Ted is saying no, because here when this team was Cup, we should have gotten the coach Boston got. And then he went on to say, Torts is saying rebuild. Fletcher is saying 6 points out. Torts is going to win this tug of war. All right, then. So let's see here. We go to our final one, which is, of course, the hot take of the week. Rob, I know you teased it a little earlier with good old Robertson there. So I'm going to let you start this one off, brother.
All right, you started off? All right, I'm just going to come out and say it. Jason Robertson is better than Connor McDavid.
Oh, okay. All right, that is a hot take. Wow, that's a nice. I like that one. That one does have fire to it. Yeah.
I don't think that's too much of a hot take. I really don't. Because if you look at the stats through the first 52 games of each player's career, the numbers are very identical. Jason Robertson may be on that same level of Connor McDavid. Early on, at least, through his first 52.
He is good.
Look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie.
Did you want me to
Maddie,
that image up?
Maddie, if you could pop that up.
Here, let me just prop this up on the screen here from Rob's screen.
Sorry, first 152.
Son of a gun.
152 games,
Close.
80 goals, 56 for Connor. So what that says to me is the better of the pure goal scorer seems to be Jason Robertson. The better, I don't want to say all-around player because that's like such a negative way to say it, but the better, like, I guess, disher would be Connor McDavid on that one.
Yeah.
So that's what it's – yeah.
Yeah, look at the plus minus. That's pretty impressive.
He's got 10 points on him.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. But that's a lot in only 152 games.
But that's the one thing that we've also been saying over the last few years too is Dallas's defense has always been good.
Yeah.
Edmonton's not so much.
Not as good. Not as good.
But yeah, I could definitely see this.
Ted was saying you're crazy, Rob.
I tell you, I'm fucking loco, man. Yes.
J. Rob is one hell of a player. I think he's on McDavid's level. I absolutely agree with that. I think I don't disagree with what Rob said there, and I don't think it's really that crazy of a hot take. He's just got to remain consistent like Connor has.
Yeah.
Seeing that stat line. Seeing that stat line, man, that tells you a lot. It really does.
And it's only through 152 games,
so
just wait.
Yeah, that's true. All right, gents. So let's see. Brad, what you got for a hot take?
Okay, Igor Shesterkin has got to regain his form, or the Rangers will not make the playoffs.
Yeah, I could see that happening. Yeah. That's a team that's living and dying by its goalie. So
yeah, if he doesn't get back to a 920 save percentage, 925 save percentage, the Rangers are done. Their defense just flat out sucks this year.
I can see it happening.
And I'm still real pissed off about Ryan Reeves getting traded. I mean, if I could give Jury a nice cold whack in the face, a little backhander, the hell you doing?
All right.
When we get assaulted in Philly and when we get assaulted in Long Island, okay, it's your fault, Sater. That's Sater. What am I saying? He's as stupid as Sater. Yeah, Drury. It's your fault.
That's why I identify as a GM Sater too. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm confusing Sater, but you know what? Sater was just as bad. Sater used to do the same stupid shit too.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, Brad, Ted's willing to say this. He said, "You guys want Braun back? We'll trade you McQuinn too."
We might do that. if something doesn't happen on the third defense on the sixth. On the 5 and 6, well, the number 5 defenseman's fine. That would be Schneider, but we're having a problem finding somebody to play with him right now.
Oh, what's he talking? You talking McEwen?
I think so.
Yeah.
Say.
All right then, Bri, what you got for a hot take?
Mitch Marner extends his streak to 30 games.
Wow.
Nice.
Boy, if he does that,
that would be impressive.
That's like Gretzky, like.
He just needs 10 games to go. Mitch Marner, he do it so many different ways.
Who's the last one to do that? Gretzky?
All right.
I'm not sure. I can look it up real quick before we sign off here.
Yeah, that's just a phenomenal stat. I mean, 20 games is unbelievable.
Yeah, no, that is.
So the hot take for me this week, I will say the Flyers. No, not Flyers hot take. I will say that the Devils will finish last place in the Metro, even though they've had this great start. They'll find a way to start going on like 10 or 11 game losing streaks. Listen. Hey, it will happen. Maybe the hockey gods will fucking listen to me, and they'll go right back to last place where they fucking belong. Fuck you, New Jersey. You fucking cocksuckers.
So.
You don't fucking deserve to be number 1 in the Metro, you pieces of shit.
Sounds like me with the Islanders.
Yeah, I hate the Devils too.
All right, so Marner. Yeah, so Marner jumped to 20 today. So the record right now is 51 games, a 51-game point streak, which was Wayne Gretzky. Yeah. Wayne Gretzky actually owns 3 of the top 5 streaks
Of course
in
he
NHL
does.
history. Yep. So he's got a 51 gamer that he did in 84. Mario Lemieux at 46 in 1990. Gretzky again had 39 games in 86, a 30 gamer in 82, and Matt Sundin in 1992 had a 30 gamer. So and Matt Sundin actually did that with Quebec. So
He didn't do it with Toronto.
no, Mitch Marner now has the record for Toronto.
Okay. He could do it. He is one
I
hell
think
of
actually-
a player.
Which is think about it. If he does
I
hit
think that-
30, that puts him into the top 5.
Yeah. That's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
The Devils will get Bedard too. I will add an addendum to this. The Devils will be second to last in the Metro, so they can't get Bedard. So there you go.
Kid me, the Devils are
That's a
going to
little
win the
too
Metro.
close. For,
All
I'll tell
right.
you what, though, that's a little
And
too close for comfort.
As long as their ping pong ball's nowhere near that, we'll be good.
Have him come in 6th.
Right. There we go. Okay. All right.
You don't want. That's too close.
Okay. Right. Oh, okay. So, gentlemen, that'll do it for this longer edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. But I think it was a good time, though, at the end. Next week, we will. Let me go to the trusty old calendar here. Yes, we will have a game to react to. Well, this is ironic. Flyers versus Colorado. We'll be reacting to the Flyers facing Colorado next week. So there you go. Just can't seem to get a break. Anyway,
payback could be ugly.
Yeah, because we'll be in the system anymore, I don't think. But anyway, still, we'll
They won't have McKinnon.
Yeah,
won't
we'll
have
be
McKinnon.
heading out, so fun to be had. True, they won't. All right, guys, we will see you next week. And until then, guys, you stay safe, you stay healthy out there. And once again, brought to you by our great sponsors. BOAGGIO'S Bread, XPO Realty, and of course, all campus, FanUp. For everybody who commented in tonight, just wanted to say that those were brought to you by Gleason's Bar, located 6700 Mill Creek Ave, Levittown, PA. Promo code A2D for 10% off your order when you dine in, take out, you go online at Gleason's Bar and Steaks.com. If you get merch, A2Dmerch.com if you want to get your show shirts and what have you. And one final shout out, none other than our show sponsor, the Dr. Paul Vidal, SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com for any aches and pains you may have. All right, guys. We'll see you in Colorado and Philly in Colorado. Until then, guys, peace and love. Stay safe, everybody.